Long have we waited. Tuesday D&D. Overrated. Long-term campaigns, outdated. The new Thursday D&D game. Activated. That's right. It is indeed Thursday. Wait, it's Thursday, right? Hold on. I went through the entire day thinking it's Thursday. It is okay. Jesus, man. Are you kidding? God damn. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. It is indeed Thursday. It is D&D day, which means it is the one day of the week where everyone, without exception, plays D&D. That's right. Every single person, from presidents to doctors to insurance claim adjusters, even them. Everybody plays D&D tonight. The world basically ceases to function for everyone to make room for D&D. So I don't know what you guys are doing tonight, but I am playing D&D. I've got a little game going on, a little thing, you know, a little adventure. I got an astral knight in my party. I got a bard. That's fun, you know, a bard that doesn't, in fact, try and tell me limericks. The Bardic Inspiration, which is great. Give your DM the gift of not trying to be clever with your words as a bard. I think that's the best way to do it. People played yesterday. What do you mean, Ashy? What do you mean play? Bro, you're not playing tonight? You're not starting in a multiple game, multiple week arc training era, whatever? Because dude, okay, one time I played D&D every single day with the same people for 12 days. 12 days we played D&D straight. Same party. It was Dashto and Ella. We played D&D that summer. It was the first summer that Dashto got his job at a big fancy gaming company. I was doing nothing with my life. Ella was in school. And we just had like multiple days in that summer where we played so much D&D that summer. It was every single day for 12 days in a row. And I think then we took a day off and we played for like 3 more days in a row or whatever. It was something like of 2 weeks we missed 1 day or something. I don't know if I recommend that. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of D&D. That's a lot of sitting in front of your computer, not doing anything productive. Besides, shit talking the ship's doctor. They didn't like her. I don't remember what her name was, but they didn't like her. They never took her on any missions, man. I don't know how I'm supposed to make good NPCs. Like, my party doesn't even like my NPCs. Like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, she's not a giant, hairy, sweaty Samoan man. I'm sorry. You have to take Boars again. God damn it. I miss Boars. Ulner has story time for you once she successfully escapes bed. I am intrigued. All right, I want to hear from the players about this game, Ashley. I want to hear from Ulner's side of things. I need to do like an interview story time series or something on my channel where I ask players to come on and shit talk their DM for like a half hour or something like that, you know. But the problem is, then that's gonna start drama, and I don't want to get Asmongolded on Twitter. All right, I don't want to get canceled. I don't want to get, you know, I don't want to start shit in the D&D scene. I don't want people being upset at me like I am somehow provoking drama and escalating difficult groups. Just a little bit, you know, that's okay. Yo, what's up, Aaron? What's going on, man? What's happening? We're playing D&D tonight, bro. Hope you're ready. Hope you brought your Lockerbur axe. I'm excited, man. I hope you guys actually get out of the city today because y'all spent a lot of time not leaving the city yesterday or last week. Fuck yesterday. I hope I don't get my games confused. I'm worried about that. It's never happened before, but I've also never had my players playing within such close proximity to each other. Like, I've never had a game like this where I have both parties in the same main city doing similar things. I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but hopefully Runa doesn't bleed over into my other game, and hopefully the rest of the party doesn't bleed over to that one. But I always do that. Wait, shit talk your DM or cancel me on Twitter? Because either is good, I feel like. Either is good. What is the saying? All publicity is good publicity. You tried something new last night. It worked super well. All right, what do we do? What do we do? One of my players tried to do research. Location they were going to. So I showed them the full map for 30 seconds. Okay. They took it away. And they led the party based off their half-remembered, I think it's this way. To me, it felt so immersive to watch since they saw the top down, but they were trying to describe it from first person. That's really cool, actually. I don't think... The problem is, Ashley, I don't think any of my players are that smart. I don't think... I'll just say it. I don't think any of my players are that smart. You know? I think I could probably give them a map, and I could probably give them, like, detailed directions, and they still would be able to describe it. So... Yeah, wait. Okay, hold on. What's up, Jerry? Good morning, bro. What's going on? What is this? What the fuck? What the? What? This is the most unfortunate sea creature I've ever seen. What the fuck? Dude, it's like a third grader tried to draw like an orca. And then evolution was like, yeah, we'll do that. What the fuck is this? No, dude, that's no, come on. That's like a, oh god, it's disgusting. It's like a 4.5. Jesus, man, that's what the fuck? What an unfortunate creature. What a unfortunate porpoise. I'm so disappointed that evolution gave us that. Evolution's given us a lot of weird stuff, Aduria. Porpoise among them, and that's one of the most disappointing ones. I feel bad for it though. You know, imagine you are like born into the world as some sort of a sea creature, and you look over and you see like a blue whale, and you look the other way and you see like a tiger shark. And you look over there and you see like a great reef octopus, and you're that fucking thing. Like, geez, man. God damn. All right. Well, listen, it's fine. We've all played with that D&D player, so it's how I feel about with humans. God. Look, here's the thing. You're setting the bars here for where we're grading for the week. So that's good to know what both sides of the range can be. Thanks for 100 bits, man. I appreciate it. One way to figure out who has photograph memory and who doesn't. Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't think any of my players are smart enough for that. I think I could probably give them the full map. Dude, my players, I'm gonna shit talk my players for a minute. My players are so bad at remembering shit that I can tell them like the directions to somewhere they're supposed to go immediately, and they'll forget who they're talking to. It's incredible. It's man. They need to play a video game, not D&D, so it's okay. It's okay, I love them. Who the hell is Dal? I don't know, but whoever Dal's porpoise is not, what an asshole, right? It's like the pug of dolphins. It's very player dependent, but Olner is pretty good with snap memory like that, where she was like, okay, we're in a bedroom. There's 7 of those. We're either in the hallway of a guest rooms or we're near the throne room. We want to get this hallway that'll lead to the servants' quarters. Then we can use the servants' hall to sneak into the throne room. Listen, Ashley, I don't understand. I feel like directions and things like that. I don't understand how people can get lost. Dude, I can't relate to it. I can't relate to it. Dude, Ashley, is it a GM thing, or is it just like a type of person thing where it's like, I'll describe in detail. I'm like, okay, so you enter into the fortress. To your left, there's a hallway that leads into the barracks. Lots of different, racks, personal effects, trunks, that kind of thing. To your right is a hallway that leads down to an armory. All right? In there, weaponry, whatever. Past this room is the main sort of dining and meeting area and planning area. There's a hallway that runs around the entire thing with small little chambers around it. Players are like, okay, I'm like, okay, where do you want to go? And they're like, what's to the left? And I just said it was the fucking barracks. Is it a DM thing? Or is it an individual player thing? Because I feel like I need to draw them a fucking map and then have it tattooed on their ass cheeks so they don't forget where they're trying to go. All right, man. Ella will be like 5 feet into the dungeon. She'll be like, what do I see? I'm like, all right, you see a long hallway. She's like, I'm gonna walk forward 5 feet. All right, what do I see? You still see the same hall. She's like, what's behind me? The entrance to the dungeon. Okay. I need to get that out. Dallas porpoises are the gamer nerds that work at GigaChads. They're like the Baldur's Gate players next to the Helldivers, Oda. That's so rude to all gamers. Just to make them all the Dallas porpoise. That's, dude, come on. New Guild Hall, where? Not New Guild Hall. Guild Hall is finally open. The Guild Hall Crimson has finally been explored on stream for the first time ever by one of our very own. So as far as I'm concerned, everybody needs to get their rooms, okay? Because I don't want to have to clean up after anyone in the basement anymore, okay? I'm done with that. Whatever rituals y'all going on down there, I'm done. All right. I'll put a roll of paper towels by the stairs. Y'all clean up whatever rituals you guys are doing. If I see any shrines constructed, I'm gonna be upset. If I see any monuments reconstructed in our guild hall basement, I'm also gonna be upset. So make sure y'all keep your rooms clean. It also wasn't a maze or a linear dungeon, since they're looking for lost objects. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I never got lost and realized I always know where north is, etc., but I'm also lost 2 steps into a video game. Man, I don't understand players that get lost in D&D. It's like, just write a map, right? Just write it down, man. Write a map down. If I say there's a room and there's 2 rooms you can't remember, just write the fucking map down. Why don't you explain it? I'm stressed. We have D&D tonight. I think part of the translation, since only owner saw the map, had to communicate what she saw in stealth scenario. Ooh, like all hand signs and shit. Gotta be quiet. Do you make your players, if they're trying to be quiet, Ashley, do you make your players be quiet IRL? Are you like, you can't say, like, do you want to say that out loud to them? And they're like, oh shit, wait, what? I wouldn't touch the stew. Lady Blackwood disapproves. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Video game, not D&D, there's a difference. True. But Nyakat Evan Shrine is what got me here in the first place. What do you mean there's a Nyakat Evan Shrine? What are you talking about? Do I need to vacuum up a shrine in the guild basement? Do I need to go down there? I don't want to go down there. I don't want to. Ever since Eiley started digging that hole somewhere into the deeper Grand Crest, I don't know if I want to go in there. I haven't been down there in a while. So what do you mean? Is there something I gotta clean up down there? I try to give my party something, even if it isn't perfect. It's just representative. So there's a library here, there's a church here, there's a ton of houses and smaller stalls and such in between that I'm not populating unless they become relevant. Yeah, I find outside environments a lot easier to help my players navigate through than like interiors. You know, interiors is where I lose them. But maybe I should try and be more abstract with it. Be like, oh, there's a bunch of hallways and you get a general sense that some of them lead somewhere, some of them lead somewhere else, you know? Like, I don't know how abstract you can be, especially if you were trying to, like, retrace your step. That's when it really becomes an issue, is when you try and retrace, where it's like, oh, we go down to the barracks. Okay, well, I guess let's just go over to the library. And it's like, oh, well, you'll have to pass the main area where there's guards in. And they're like, oh, well, let's not go there. Let's just go around. And you're like, that's when it gets a little difficult, I think. So it's when you need to have, like, a definitive map. But maybe not. Maybe just let people sort of wing it, you know? That might be the way to do it. That might be the future. That, or you make the players draw their own map. Because when we used to play Star Wars D&D, Dashto would always draw out a map for, well, not always, but if there was like an area or whatever, he'd sometimes draw out a map, and for him and Ella to like trace through or whatever. It was kind of cool, actually. I was watching them do that on Roll20 was always fun. Of course, we don't use Roll20 anymore. We use Foundry VTT, the superior tabletop software, in my opinion. At least up until the point where Wizards of the Coast releases D&D Beyond VTT and does not allow you to play D&D in any other format other than Wizards of the Coast officially sanctioned D&D VTT D5e 2024 V whatever. But also 5 degrees of visualization. I can do 5, so as things get described, I can render in my brain, but I found most people don't do that. I'm making handouts to circumvent this. That's actually a good idea, you know? Aside with the in combat type take of your character would have some way to communicate this that your players may not have experience with, or your character would have literally discussed this in advance unless it's in the moment reaction they have to give. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, I guess your characters could be more stealthy than like
what
you,
we doing
right?
today?
Xanax, we're talking about how exactly disappointing it is that players get so lost in dungeons and just how to make it sure that they stop getting so fucking lost in dungeons. How do you do it, Xanax? Thank you for the best, by the way. I appreciate it. How do you help your players, or as a player, Xanax, do you take maps and stuff? Do you get lost in places? Because I was complaining about how my players always, they always ask me 8 times which direction things are in. And I'm like, y'all need a map, and I ain't making it, you know? Do you make them roll to remember, encourage note-taking? I don't make them roll to remember, Sam. I just don't let them, I don't give them passes on things they don't remember. It's like, they're like, oh, we need to go to that inn to meet the guy there. Shit, what was the inn called? We need to be there today, right? And I'm like, yep. They're like, oh, but it's it was called the well, we're gonna go to that inn. And I'm like, sure, which one is it? Which one are you going to? There's lots of inns in the city. Which one are you going to? They're like, well, the one we're supposed to go at. I'm like, which one is it? Which one are you going to? Here's the 5 that are in the city that you know of. Which one are you going to? And they're like, shit, we should ask somebody. So if they're late for it or whatever, I'll make them do that, you know? I don't have a problem with that shit. But also, honestly, that sounds a little petty, but I found that it actually started making my players take better notes, you know? When they realized that, but also, you can't just make it a penalty, you also have to make it a bonus, right? People being impressed that the players remember shit, you know? It's like, oh, wow, you remember, you know, me? I guess, you know, here's some sort of aid for your journey. Now the player's like, wait, oh shit, this actually helps, you know? Weirdly also, you know what made my players start taking better notes and actually improve my players in general as players overall is Baldur's Gate 3. And I haven't talked to a lot of DMs, 1, because I don't have a lot of friends, and 2, DMs are insufferable. So I don't want to talk to them. I mean, you all know that, right? Imagine being friends with a DM. Jesus Christ. No, so I haven't talked to a lot of other DMs about this, but it seems like nobody I've talked to has had this similar experience as I have, where my players became better, more engaged, more interesting to watch players after Baldur's Gate 3. And it was something about the game that made them improve in almost every single aspect of their play. Yeah, I think it was them seeing that there was like, one thing that I might have a weakness as a DM is I might not be able to showcase this might not be a me problem, so I'm not like willing to just completely change everything I do, but it's something I've noticed that some players have a hard time with, could be me or them, is that they have a hard time understanding what they can do in a world where you can do anything. And I'm a pretty open DM. I do very well with players like Fishy, you know, or like Ella, where they basically are going doing their own thing, and I'm just there refereeing the world for them. But sometimes when a player wants me to be like, okay, well, hey, do you want to go to the castle, and do you want to sneak over the wall? Or do you want to, like, go try and bribe the guard or whatever, right?
That depends. If the map the players are on is relatively large, I sometimes give my players a little layout of some spaces if I want my players to find certain things, or I myself think that it can get confusing.
Okay. Okay. Do you prefer to map that out? You don't have to respond with TTS in bit. I appreciate the 100 bits. Thank you. You can just respond. It's fine. Jesus, thank you. That makes sense. I don't know. I sort of fall somewhere in between wanting to draw the map for them and also wanting them to take the notes and make the map themselves, because I find them get more invested. But like, yeah. So sorry. So some players need you to tell them. What's up, Andre? Some players need you to tell them what they can do, and other players I find are pretty open for it. My players started doing all sorts of crazier shit once they played Baldur's Gate, because they were like, oh wait, like there's more you can do. They almost needed, it was two of them that really got a lot better, but they almost needed a game like Baldur's Gate where they can have more options or whatever, where they can see, you know, what's possible. And then that also made them better at other things, made them better as note takers, better whatever else, you know. They just sort of took from the game, yanked it over to our D&D game, and I'm fine with it, you know. I'm fine with it. I'm like a shark in the water when it comes to going through a dungeon. Keep going straight till something happens. That makes sense, actually. I kind of like that. When the Covil VTT drops, I might swap systems for convenience, but I'd love being on 4E at the moment. Yeah, can you... is there... what VTT are you using? Because is there built-in support for 4E in a lot of them? I know there's like a couple of them brag or boast about it, but... wait, make the players draw the dungeon maps as you explore the dungeons, see what details are relevant to them, which ones fight the others because the map is wrong. It sounds like so much fun. I think it's great. I like making my players draw their own maps, not because like there are some maps that I have that's more of a video game progression type thing, but if it's just like theater of the mind maps where I'm just like, hey, there's a dungeon, go to the dungeon, I prefer them to draw their own map. Right? Or to keep track of it, because the thing is, if I think it's complex enough, I will make my own map. But if I don't think it's complex enough, I will happily let them make their own map if they need it, you know. And a lot of players don't need to make maps. Some do. It depends on like sort of, it depends on a couple things. And the issue is, the real issue with this is, I think it's an uncomfortable thing that we don't like to talk about in D&D, but there's sort of two main reasons I found for players not being able to keep track of their environment or whatever it is in game. One, they're either not the kind of person that can visualize these things and needs aid in keeping track of it. Or two, they're not fucking paying attention. And the problem is you kind of can't accuse them of either, you know? Because it's like, are your players paying attention? Like, I don't know. Maybe they're off doing stuff and it's just like, oh, you aren't paying attention to where the map was. Well, then yeah, you don't know where you're fucking... Why don't you sit down and make... If you want to play D&D every week, you can make it a priority and we'll all play this game and we'll have fun. If you know, if you can't, that's fine. You don't have to play D&D. It's all good, right? But then there are players that are like, look, man, I just can't visualize this stuff. I need to keep this all in, you know, like they just need some help with it. And you never know. You don't want to accuse a player who's just bad with spatial recognition of not paying attention. But then also, if a player is not paying attention, you're giving them all these tools to help them like through it, then it's kind of like counterproductive. And they're like, oh, I don't need to pay attention because Evan's going to do it for me. So it's hard, dude. It's kind of hard to figure that out. But I think that's like a weird thing we don't like to talk about sometimes is D&D. What's up, Permafrost? We're good. We're chilling, dude. We're planning. It's D&D day. We got plans. I'm happy. Real 20, but I have a tool from Stream. Real 20 has 4E sheets, and you can make your encounter such dailies at will in the macro buttons to have an MMO hotbar. Oh yeah, I used to use that. Shit. I like that about Roll 20. I think there's an add-on or a plug-in or something for Foundry that does the same thing. I just don't. Dude, Foundry is one of those tools that I think there's a couple of tools in the space that I think are almost too complicated. You know, they're almost too complicated. And I think that Foundry would benefit from, and again, I don't want to criticize Foundry unfairly. I think Foundry is the best RPG tool, virtual tabletop tool out there on the market right now by a long shot. I think it clears everyone else. But I think that sometimes it's with a lot of tools, like I know World Anvil has a lot of issues with this as well, of it being too powerful, too complicated, too whatever, and could benefit from little bit more UI or UX sort of like really, you know, crunchy experience. Because there's a lot of people when I say like, oh, I use Foundry, they're like, oh, I don't, yeah, I installed Foundry once and I couldn't understand what the fuck was going on, so didn't go back to it, and I paid $50 for it. And I've also heard people say the same thing with World Anvil. They're like, oh yeah, World Anvil seems like it's really cool, but like I don't know what the fuck's going on. There's so many menus and options and buttons and shit. Like I just you know. And I get the same thing for Photoshop. People say the same thing for Photoshop. They're like, I just want to go into like Procreate has like brush size and brush color. Like that's all I want. Like Photoshop all these options and stuff. And I think about that a lot actually, because I've thought about making my own VTT for a couple of years there before I started streaming. And I didn't end up doing that because I had some friends I had a bunch of software engineering friends that all wanted to do it during COVID when they all like had to go home from, you know, work or whatever, and they all just kind of fizzled out. So it was like, okay, whatever, like fine, you know. So playing Theater of the Mind, DM's table is a bit of a trip, but I try and steal their description techniques. Well, that's interesting, actually. You should probably do a little research. Who's been paying attention? Don't worry about it, Blaze. The next player that asks where they are, what they're doing, isn't paying attention. That's what it is. Try to do Theater of the Mind for open exploring, big dungeons and maps for dungeon crawling, and then tactical maps for combat. A different answer for each pillar, RP, exploration, combat. Yeah, I've been doing more Theater of the Mind for combat. It's been working out for me recently. You know, partly because I just don't have tokens for my players yet, because I don't know if they're gonna fucking survive. Like, let's face it, man, they're level 3. Like, are they gonna be around to level 4? Like, I don't know, man. Steep learning curve. It is a steep learning curve, you know, and you know, I think it's a fair criticism that I think all these tools are aware of. I'm pretty sure that if you ask anybody from World Anvil or from Foundry, it's like, what is the biggest weakness of your product currently? They'd probably say the learning curve or the user experience or whatever. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they tell you to get bent. I don't know. I think everybody there's pretty nice that I've talked to. I haven't talked to anybody from Foundry, but you know, the dude seems cool. But I think that it is one of those tools where it's like, it's so powerful. It's just got such a steep learning curve that it puts people off sometimes. And that's a tough question, you know, because I think about that from a game design perspective too. Like for whenever the Eldara game, the Eldara, you know, tabletop game comes out, it's like, how different can you make it from D&D? I thought about this on a class design level as well. You know, back in the original days of me talking about the Astral Sage class, I got accused of it just being a scuffed wizard. Like why wouldn't you just make this a wizard subclass? I'm like, because I wanted to be something different. Like it can be similar, but you know, if it's too different, people aren't going to want to invest the time to learn it. So yeah, it's a tough question. I don't know. There's not really an obvious answer. That's why it's a persistent problem with really great tools and game systems and things like that. Is that exact problem that people keep running into, where it's like, you want to make it deep and crunchy and satisfying, but you also don't want to make it, you know, boring and whatever. World of Warcraft is going through this actually right now. I don't know if there's anybody who still pays attention to World of Warcraft like I do, but World of Warcraft is going through a bit of a commotion right now between players who currently play the game and players who have left the game, where the players who've left the game say the game's too difficult, it's too complicated, you need too many add-ons, there's too many buttons, it's just not, like, it's not fun, you know. And then you have the players that still play the game that are the people who love the super crunchy whatever stuff, and they have, like, their screens just look like crazy fucking add-on, you know, laden messes. And I've been on both sides of that. I understand both sides of the argument quite well, you know. And like, even World of Warcraft's had that problem where it's like, what do? Do they make the game more simple and accessible and make it easier for people to get into, and then they lose the crunchy turbo nerds? Or do they keep making the game for the crunchy turbo nerds, and then suddenly nobody plays the game anymore? You know, it's like, it's really tough, I think. But I don't know. It's a problem that I think that all like all tools or games or whatever have to face at some point in time. You have to kind of figure out the balance there. I feel like Roll20 is too complicated for me to use, since I have no fucking idea of what the hell I'm doing. Really, Roll20 I think is very straightforward. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what other tools there are that are easier than Roll20, but like Roll20 and Foundry, it's like it's a pretty stark difference between the two tools. So World Anvil, which is world creation, is no, World Anvil doesn't have a VTT. World Anvil is world creation, writing. World Anvil does a lot of things, man. World Anvil also does campaign tracking. You can take really interesting and awesome notes in World Anvil for your campaign and like track things and whatever. Like, World Anvil has so many amazing features in it that if they had a VTT and just integrated a lot of it, people would probably fucking lose their mind over it. But easy way to know how do they use any VTT is to use VTT. Yeah, true. You have to just use it and then fail, and then you know, say that you're just gonna do Theater of the Mind, which actually is kind of working more. Like, I'm using my VTT less and less these days. Realistically, right now I only use my VTT for my players that don't know how to roll real dice. That's all it is. And I'll talk shit about them all day long. I got 3 players that have no idea how to roll a real die, you know, and I'm not shit talking them behind their backs. I say it to their fucking disgraceful faces. They have no idea how to roll a real die. All right, they have no idea how to maintain a character sheet. So our VTT currently is only used so they can interface with D&D Beyond, which is fine because D&D Beyond is a very accessible, great tool if you're into it. But we're not really using a lot of the features in the VTT that I kind of want to get into. But you know, it's a lot of work, and my players want to play, and my players would rather have a low production D&D more often than high production D&D less often. I don't know where I come down on it, because I wanted to like take a break from D&D for a long time, as long as I needed to be able to make high production D&D for them. And they kind of got antsy about it. And they were like, hey, we really want to get back into it. We don't care if it's like high production or whatever. And I was kind of like, okay, sure. Like, you know, whatever. I'm just happy if you guys are happy. But I'm thinking about like what is satisfying on my end, and like what do I want to do in D&D? Because, you know, if I keep doing a D&D that I don't really want to run, at the end of the day, I'm going to get burnt out and I'm not going to run it anyway. So I've been thinking about this a lot, actually, if I really want to do high production, you know, VTT, integrated tokens, everything, art, blah, blah, blah. Or if I'm happier having a casual, chill, weekly game that doesn't need, you know, much investment in it. Because it is nice that I know that I'm playing it. I don't fucking have to have anything ready. I don't have to have shit, dude. I just put you guys in the world and y'all do whatever you want, you know? So, maybe straightforward to you, but I really have no idea what I am doing and get so numb reading gibberish descriptions and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I wasn't saying that it should be easy. I was just referencing it back to the conversation we were having before you got here, Permafrost, about the difference between the two tools, that's all. You know, it is very complicated if you haven't had any experience with it, and especially if you're newer to the RPG, and a lot of things try and describe how the system works in Roll20 for the RPG. And if you're like, I don't know what this effect or mechanic or whatever is, then yeah, it's like trying to learn an entirely different, you know, language or whatever. So we have one more multiverse as a VTT just for visuals. Actually, 5e tools are okay, but just works well as a board and cinematic experience. Yeah, I mean, that's useful too. Like, I don't even know what I'd want out of a VTT. I thought of this a lot, actually, but like whenever I make my own system, which is not for years, I'm sticking with D&D for the foreseeable future. It's not going to be until after the D&D adventure has been kickstarted and whatever down the road that I'm going to think about making my own system. But when I do, I'm going to try and integrate it into a VTT, I think. You know? I don't know. Things change in years, so who knows how I'll feel in a couple years. Alchemy is good for visual experience. What the fuck is alchemy, Cobalt? Middle barrier entry will always be the more important priority, though that's assuming the average player. Once players are over that barrier, I'm happy to raise that skill floor. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's kind of like the Final Fantasy 14 versus a World of Warcraft debate in a lot of ways. Actually, I don't know. I feel like that's very like complicated for tabletop RPGs too, you know, because it's almost like you get so much more. The biggest problem is people get a lot more information up front about how to play the game, that more than they need. You know, way more than they need to start playing the game. I love like the Astral Knight at level 1 is done. It's finished. You can play a level 1 Astral Knight. Get on it, bro. You have a good time. You know, but the problem is that I have to put all the information from 1 to 20. And so when you are a player and you open your book to the fighter page because you think fighters are cool, and you just read down all these things, you're like, I have to learn all of this? There's no like clear. I think D&D does this very poorly, and so does Pathfinder and every other RPG. I think they do this incredibly poorly, is making it basically obvious that as a level 1 fighter, this is literally all you have to know right here. And I think because to do that in a way where you could make a satisfying progression of levels, I think it would take more pages and more ink. And of course, they don't want to print more pages. They want their books to be as small as possible so they can sell, and then people don't have to, like, there's a bunch of different reasons. So, I don't know. What's up, Nightly? This is my first time DMing a campaign. I foolishly desired to homebrew my own world. Why is that foolish? That's amazing. I think that's the best way of playing D&D. I don't think, Nightly, that D&D is best played in the D&D settings or whatever. I think that homebrew is the spice of D&D that makes it fun. You know, that's the old school way of playing it. Back in when I started playing D&D in 3.5, like 15 years ago, nobody used standard D&D. Nobody. It was for nerds. It was for losers. You play standard D&D? Oh, you must be a little bit hard to. It must be hard to read, right? You need a helmet. Like, you know, we had jokes about it. But I think it's awesome if you're making your own homebrew, especially for your first campaign. Fuck yeah, that's ambitious. Get in there. You think using books to help me build the world would be okay? Absolutely. Yeah, the thing about that's great about D&D homebrew is that you can take as much or as little as you want from D&D. Listen, the D&D has changed what their intention, like Wizards of the Coast have changed their intention for their own content. The way D&D originated as is the world was there, so you can have a base to like build your world on, and whenever you didn't like fill in a hole, when an idea falls through, it always hits the net of sort of like the D&D world. So I think it's absolutely fine if you want to homebrew everything, if you want to use books to do it, if you want to do whatever, like totally, it's up to you. Just have fun. It's not supposed to be stressful or whatever. It's supposed to be chill and relaxed and fun, and you'll do fine. I'll also check the box, the mature 18 only, to see the final result. So wait, what? It feels like they need to fix that on Roll20. I didn't know they had something like that. Questline some strat or something. Yeah, take whatever you want. Yeah, dude, it's totally fine. It's a made up TTRPG. You're supposed to take whatever you want from worlds and do as much or little work as you want, you know. Maybe release the simple astral stuff as level 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 packet and call it demo to hide the more intimidating paragraph piles for level 20 stuff nobody will use. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Like because like one of the things that I've sort of run into, Ashley, one of the struggles is like, how do I format this stuff for Discord? And it's like, so okay, so in asking the question of how to format this for Discord, I have to then figure out how I'd format this for a book. Do I just vomit the information into the Discord, or do I just release a Google Doc and then update that? Like, what is the best way to do this? Do I do like small, like, do I format into a visual and make like a Photoshop, like an image, like a PDF type image, and then I can format it in a certain way? Like, I don't know what the best way to do it is, but man, in trying to figure out how to format a class for Discord, I've had to then think about how you format a class best in a book, which is kind of weird. So I don't know. It's one of those things that I really like about Daggerheart right now. The abilities are split into cards that you only add to your deck once you actually level up. I don't know shit about Daggerheart. From what I know about Daggerheart is I'm pretty sure it's the Critical Role RPG system that they created. I think, or somebody did, or they worked with somebody to do it. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on with Daggerheart. I've heard the name, but I am very ignorant on the topic. So I know as much about Daggerheart as I know about the MCDM VT or TTRPG. Even with D&D and borrowing and cutting all my abilities into cards so that I can quickly reference them, to not get bogged down by later level information. Yeah, what would be really nice is a VTT that sort of integrated things like you could sort of basically like pick your abilities, and it would play like my ideal way of running my VTT when I make it and I make my game system is I'm basically going to make it with the interface and the user experience of an MMO. Hotbars and health bars and all these things integrated, so it's very easy. Like, you click the button, that's your action, and then when you pick an ability, it's like, oh, you're this level, you have to pick this ability, and then like basically Baldur's Gating it. I think that Baldur's Gating your D&D VTT would be the best thing possible. You know, I think it's a very good lesson we've all learned in what players want, and I think the Baldur's Gate system is really nice in that way. But I don't know. Trying to look through Roll20 for the hell of it. Put in homebrew in keywords so far. No homebrew allowed. Weird. I haven't used Roll20 in a long time, so I don't know what's going on over there. I think they're either killing it or having issues, and I'm not sure. Tool I use is called Dungeon Painter Studio and Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Painter Studio and Dungeon Alchemist. That's interesting. I know there's a lot of different like map designs and shit like that, or map design programs and software or whatever. I think you split it and spin it, splitting it into Boon, put it plus 11 plus astral stuff into like Epic Astral Night, and you have a big break, so disincentivize people trying to read everything all at once, and instead, oh, this is for me, just getting hyped about / read later. Yeah, the problem is like, I wonder, Ashley, what the distribution of wanting accessibility nerds is and crunchy nerds are for homebrew, because I almost feel like the default nerds that want accessibility don't search out homebrew like the Astral Sage and Knight would be, and that you have to like kind of cater to an inherently crunchier crowd or whatever. But I don't know. I'd be interested to get some data on that. What do you mean the first TPK? What do you mean Fishy? What's the problem? What's the problem? Yeah, what's the issue? You TPK the party. I've started playing Age of Empires 2, recently again. And like tonight I wanted to play some Age of Empires 2. But like, so the issue is that I go to bed at like 10ish now when I have gym the next day because I want to be up at like 6 something. So if I play till 10, then I can't play Age of Empires tonight. But like if I TPK my party at like 8, then I'm good. I have 2 hours. Do whatever I want. You know, not our game. Well, I mean, maybe. Do you want to experience TPK? Think about how much drama we could farm. Like if I TPK the party on Tuesday live on stream, think about how much drama you and I could farm on Twitter. You and I could have a fight for like a week and a half. We can make videos. We can make response videos. You can make like twit longer. Like my experience with Evan Reed, TLDR, whatever. You know, I could be like my response video to Fishy, and it could be like a thumbnail and you like looking down and very serious, and you can just say about Fishy ... You know, like we could be good, bro. We're 10 sessions in, and in my party decided to fight 2 Basilisks level 4, and one of my players was petrified in the depths of this cave. Should I allow him to come back or just die? Depends on what you want to do. I mean, depends on how kind of a hardcore game you want. I would, if you're willing to, if you feel like you gave them a fair encounter with Basilisks, and some crazy shit happened that led to a player death, then you keep it. And if you think to yourself, nah, it was a bit unfair, then sure, give him a bit of a break, you know? Fish situation would be a 1 PK. It'd be a something, I don't know. It would be an issue. All right, we can do a little for anything else. What do you want to farm drama about, Fishy? Yeah, what's drama worthy? Like what could you and I possibly farm drama about? Because I can't think of anything, and I'm trying to be creative. You know, because we don't have any common interests. It's not like Ashy and I trying to farm Final Fantasy 14 drama. We can just say the word, like, Pictomancer, and somebody on YouTube is going to have an aneurysm and leave comments on our videos. Like, it's fine. You know, but we don't, like, our common interest is D&D. How are we supposed to farm drama about anything else? You want to start playing World of Warcraft with me, then we can farm drama about that. You know, claiming you're a bad artist or something. Could you claim I'm a bad artist? Could you do it? Could you do it for the clicks, for the views, for the drama? Could you actually go through that and claim that I'm a bad artist? I don't think you have it in you. I don't think you have the stomach to do it, Fishy. I'm gonna being false ID in a situation covering the drama. Evan Blair, player killer, Galaxy Goldfish response. Yeah, I don't know what false ID is, but I'm guessing it's a drama YouTuber or whatever. No yelling at you for doing it when you're not one. Oh, and you yelling at me for being an insufferable nag or something. Well, the problem is that I can't really like farm drama about me being a bad artist with you, because I mean everybody knows I'm a bad artist. So like if I made a video that was like my art journey, is it over? Question mark. Everyone would be like, yeah, probably. Yeah, you probably need to hang it up, man. You're like, you know, you're getting kind of old. You're not really there yet, bro. So, you know, no one buys your prints. It's fun. Like it's just, you know, it's kind of sad to watch someone your age just try and be an artist on the internet, right? Like I'm telling you, man. You know, you're gonna fight me. All right, fight me on YouTube. Fight me on YouTube. Let's see it. The fuck? What layer am I on? Wait, what the hell? What layer is this? Oh. It's literally... Okay. I made a mistake. See, I am bad at art. I don't even use the right layer. I gotta finish this today, because this is gonna be the Patreon print for March. That's the month we're in, right? Yeah, March. That's the one. And then if it's okay with you, Fishy, I might use Runa as the print for April. And do a little lore card, and I can send you a cool little like lore card for her, and a little magic item thing, and a Runa sticker. I think that'd be kind of fun for the launch of the game. You'd be honored? Alright, Hog. Require either you to have YouTube content. What do you mean? If I YouTube Evan Blair Hart. Look. I wait. What the fuck? Why am I? Why not close? Stop. Come back. Photoshop. What do you mean, Blaze? What do you mean? Look, I got 54 subs. I posted a video 7 months ago. Yeah, what do you mean? I have 6 videos. I'm insulted. Look, man, as soon as I can afford a YouTube editor, it's gonna be lit. I thought it was gonna work out last year, and then Twitch took a massive fucking dump on me, and that stopped all my plans and depressed me greatly. So I'm eagerly anticipating being able to make YouTube stuff again. You just gotta give me time, man. I gotta shill for more subs, and then I can have YouTube content, okay? Jeez. My own mods are dunking on me. Same? Yeah, for real. What the fuck, dude? Evan can't fire me. Who else is gonna upload his VODs? I would never fire Blaze. What are you talking about? Blaze is a national treasure. Blaze is the only mod in my channel that actually goes above and beyond to remind me for a week and a half to do a thing until Fishy or Bizzo has to remind me to do it. Then I actually do it. Oh, God. We don't have a YouTube command? What the fuck? God damn. Trying to lose my mind slowly. Why permafrost? Why? Focus. Stay with us. But yeah, I do everything in Photoshop. I do all of my art, all my sketching, everything in Photoshop. It is the only digital painting software that I prefer to use. It's the industry standard and the most powerful painting software there is. So I've used it happily for many years. That's what I learned on, actually. I learned on Photoshop back in my art school days. I pretend to fire Blaze now. I'll never live it down because it broke his followage. Ooh, that sucks, bro. That sucks, man. Broke the streak. Actually, I think I broke Ella's streak by banning her at some point in time. I have no idea what her followage is, but I think it's not the longest. I think Cobalt might be the longest. I think Cobalt or Thorkin might be the person that has followed the longest that I haven't jokingly banned at some point in time. So, yeah. You see Blaze a trailblazer? I wouldn't Soja because I'm not cringe. Okay? But listen, you do you. I mean, that's... What's up, Soja? I didn't see you come in here. What's going on? How you doing? Thank you for the follow, Nightly One. I appreciate that. Things that I took a nap, I slept, and I felt like I stood up for 48 hours without being overwhelmed. I mean, hey, go off. Make a YouTube video about World of Warcraft or something. Rants are popular these days. What wins 1 hour of careful planning and strategizing for that one good die, deciding it's time to show its true colors? I mean, this is why you should always buy rigged dice, right? That's the reality of it, I think. Isn't that what people do? Surely my player didn't get 320s in a row that one time in 3.5. The odds of that happening were way too high. Vibe got a smoothie of just reviewing notes. That's pretty cool. That's all right. That's chill. I miss studying things, Soja. I miss having to take notes and review them and stuff. I miss like doing academic things. There was like a simplicity to it. I've always been jealous of my friends in like STEM or academia, that it's like, oh, in order to be successful, I need to pass this test. And you're like, okay, great. What happens then? Well, I get good marks. Then I can go into this program. Then I can get a job in this thing. You know, it's always like so nice and straightforward. With art, it's just like, I'm going to work for 45 hours and maybe be worse than I was when I started. And you're like, wait, what? Is that? Oh, fuck. Fudge your rolls, there is no God. Listen. Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing, Fishy? Do we need to have a Fishy dice camera on your desk exposing your filth? All your, like, rusty pop cans, molding drink beverages from Wendy's, empty chip bags where you're going to roll some dice right next to them? No, the DM? Okay, alright, fair. How much does Adobe Creative Cloud cost in Canadian? Pluto always complains about how expensive it is. Now, oh, it's oppressive. It's oppressive, Oda. It's not okay. It's like emotionally not okay. For creative, no, I don't want teams. Creative Cloud for enterprise, for teams, for business. Where's the Creative Cloud for Evan? On all apps for teams, it's not. What is this Teams shit? Adobe Creative Cloud subscription. There we go. Choose the right plan. How much is it in Canadian? Let's see. Free trial? Nope. View plans and pricing. All right, how much is it? All apps, I pay $60 US standard currency a month. In Canadian, that is 60 USD to CAD. And today's exchange rate is $67. It is about $70 every month, is what I know. That's actually pretty good. That's less than that. It's anywhere from like 60 something to $75 a month for Creative Cloud, and I hate it. Yep. I probably could switch to this just a single app, but I use other stuff in Creative Cloud. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, if you ask me. But hey, man, they can charge what they want. It's why I think new artists should try Clip. I don't recommend new artists go with Photoshop. I don't think you're good enough to need Photoshop. So you just use Clip. And by the time you're good enough to need Photoshop, not suggesting I'm good enough to need Photoshop, but by the time you're good enough to need Photoshop, you'll be making enough money at your art that $60 a month isn't that much expensive to you. So DM's God of the world, so they should be allowed to fudge the die for the story. I do that occasionally. I very occasionally and rarely will fudge dice. Mostly Fishy just because I find it more interesting if I adhere to the dice as well. If I start like planning and fudging and whatnot and doing all that stuff too much, then it like gets a little bit like not interesting for me on my end to see what happens. But I will fudge a die roll occasionally. Last time I did was when I think the players were trying to convince somebody of something. So they were doing deceptions and persuasions and intimidate. They were doing basically a skill challenge, and the like NPC they were fighting against was just like throwing 19s and 20s at them like they had no chance. And I realized this is not going to go anywhere. We're going to spend here an extra half an hour with this if I don't let this NPC like drop their roll or whatever. So, you know, not too bad, kind of dumb. You can't just buy programs outright anymore. Yeah, the last time I bought it outright was called the Master Collection. It was back in like 2000 and when did I graduate school? 2012, like around 2011, 2012. Around 2011 or 2012, I bought the Master Collection twice, Oda, and both times it was $1,000 Canadian. So like, what? I don't know, $750, $800 US. And I bought two of those because when you wanted to update, they didn't let you. You could pay less to update if you'd bought a previous collection, but Adobe, because I bought it through the student discount, had no like records of me ever buying it. I'm like, here's my CD key. Like, what the fuck do you need from me? And they're like, sorry, kid, you're gonna have to buy it again for full price. Okay. So I have given Adobe as a company thousands of dollars over my lifetime, and it sucks. I invested Adobe into $10 a month for Photoshop. There you go. All right, wait, and Lightroom, damn, bro. All the players required to have Adobe Creative Cloud is true. Yeah, well, you can't play D&D unless you have Creative Cloud. What are you going to do? How are you going to take your notes if you don't have Adobe InDesign? How are you going to make cool little highlight videos for your DM if you don't have After Effects? You know, right? Like, how are you going to paint your character if you don't have Photoshop? That's usually Fudge Dice is an assortment of TTRPG themed snackies like dungeon made of various fruits. Okay. Is people actually planning TPKs? Of course, yeah. Why wouldn't you plan TPK your party? Listen, here's the thing. If you don't TPK your party every once in a while, do you really love them? If you don't impose the fear of death in them once in a while, no. I'm not gonna TPK my party, alright? Come on. Only if they deserve it. They probably deserve it, actually. Let's face it. Fucking smarmy-assed, pompous douchebags. Always going into my dungeons and killing my liches. It's like, bro, I made this lich for enjoying, not for killing, and y'all are in here trying to take his loot. Don't you hate that shit when it happens? Yeah, come on, man. What a rough day. All right, I'm gonna finish this a little bit of sharpening on this, and then we're gonna actually paint it out and hopefully finish it before the end of stream. And I want to also do the sticker and maybe the magic item on stream today. That'd be kind of fun to do all that, to get all of that done. Be kind of cool. Be down with it. All right. Fuck it, we paint. So this isn't the Night Temple. This is a Sage Temple, I've decided, because I don't exactly have a good basis for what the Night Temples are supposed to look like yet, so I'm not committing to it. That's what we're gonna do today. Let's figure that shit out. I'm gonna go super saturated. The last one I did was kind of dull, so we're gonna go super bright on this one. TPKs always happen accidentally. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Sometimes when you have a player who thinks they're invincible, sometimes you gotta fudge the dice and knock them down a peg. Here's the thing: I have never lost to a player. Anytime a player has ever tried to be like combative, you know, that cringy player that you've played with at least once in your life that tries to win against the DM and show the DM, you know, how powerful they are at the fucking Imagination Dragon game. I have never lost to a player. I've never let a player like best me like that, you know, or like to remind them who the master of the game is, you know, and then I stop playing with that player promptly. Usually it's only actually a problem at game stores, so there's that, I guess. Steve, what's up, dude? Thanks for the 9 months. How's it going? Happy opening day. It's opening day. Opening day. Opening day for what? What are we opening? What's getting opened? I'm excited. I don't know why I'm excited, but I'm excited now. I'm pumped. I don't know what I'm pumped for, but I'm excited about it. Don't take this away from me. I have so little to be excited about in life. Let me be hyped. Me, I'm picking up my stuff and say, well, it was a good game. See you guys. I'm likely sit in a corner with my dark thoughts for a while. Yeah, there you go. The proper way of playing D&D, as there is. For baseball. Oh, for baseball. Oh, shit. All right. Hell yeah. Well, hope it's a good season. Can't say I know too much about baseball. I'm not much of a follower, but it's an exciting part of the season. You know, hockey's just starting to wrap up in their season. I guess baseball is starting soon. Tonight, I guess. And then what? Football's not going to start for a while. Basketball. I don't know how much basketball has left in the tank before the end of their season. Oh, they're still going. I see them on the sports news every once in a while. I don't watch a lot of sports news, but I turn my TV on to avoid the dog barking at noises outside when we're at the gym, and it's always on the sports channel because the only thing we use our TV for, like cable, is so Ella can watch hockey. So that's about it, you know.
My bard player tries from time to time. The last
Really?
time he tried, he was constantly reincarnated by a god of faces in my world and then slowly pulled apart over and over again.
Look, he had it coming, Xenix. Maybe 100 bits, I appreciate that. He had it coming, okay? I play like that right now, and he is petrified at the bottom of the cave. Oh, leave him dead. Fuck it. Yeah, never mind. Leave him there. Leave him. Royals fan, it's never a good season. What city is the Royals? There's so many baseball and basketball teams I've never heard of. What city do the Royals play in? And thank you, Croxler, for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome. Good to have you. My TTP Philip party pause, where somewhere during the campaign the party ends up getting captured, magical trapped, or something like that, causing players to make new characters that will try and rescue the previous characters. That's cool. I love that idea, actually. That's really interesting. I only did something like that once, where I had my players create characters that were going to be the sidekicks to their like adventure that did the other things in tandem. It was really fun. It was a campaign from two perspectives. My players thought it was really cool to do that, but I don't think modern D&D players could tolerate that, because if it's not always about their main story, dramatic quest, whatever, they don't really care. So I don't think I could fly today, but that's a really cool idea. Here's a question: if someone uses their wish spell to announce to every sentient entity the knowledge of him taking a really heavy shit, would you take that as a chaotic evil action or chaotic neutral, and how would you reason the conscious of every future character knowing he's used his wish to let everyone know he's taking massive shit? I would have some sort of deity come down and smite him for his I don't know, reckless use of ancient magics. That's what I would do. And obviously it's chaotic neutral. Obviously. That's an interesting wish spell. Never had that rise in one of my games. I don't really use wish all that often in my games, but the wishes that I have used, it's been years. It's been like a decade since I let anyone cast a wish. Mostly because people are less clever with their wishes than they'd like to be, and it creates like an analysis paralysis thing for them, in my experience. But yeah, I don't know. I never had a player do that. That's a new stage of it, I guess. That's a new one for me, anyway. That'll be brand new, at the very least. Lower our saturation. I know I said we were going a bit brighter here, but we need to be responsible, all right? Responsible, saturated painters, okay? When you can't... We're trying to show our players what a temple looks like, not blow their eyes out. I'm Evan Blair art, not raw straws, all right? I can't do that much saturation. Not good enough. Some of the campaigns need filler episodes. The problem is my party, if you let them do whatever they want, every episode will be a filler episode. They're like, let's go shopping again. I'm like, cool. Let's do that for 2 hours. I'm like, cool. Well, that was a fun D&D game. I'm like, yep. As long as you guys are happy, I'm happy. It was actually very nice playing with Fishy. I don't want to tell her this because I don't want her to get full of herself, but the game I played with her was really I don't know, it was really reinvigorating for me to want to do a lot of world building. It's very nice to play with like a very focused party, and like you get that out of a single player, and I always like that about small party D&D. I like large group D&D too, but it's just a little bit different, you know. But I actually found myself doing some like NPC making and world building for fun, not because I like felt like I had to or it was work or whatever. Not that I ever do. I mean, I do, but I don't. It's like complicated. But I like legitimately wanted to make a bunch of stuff for that game, and it was this week, so I'm very happy, very pleased. I was awake now, so I can tell the story. All right, my party walked face first into a Colville screw, where you have just enough stealth and planning to get halfway to dungeon, only to be surrounded to have to fight the entire dungeon all at once. What was the theme? Was the dungeon themed, Ashy? Was there a theme to the dungeon? Royals are in Kansas City, obviously. Well, I don't know, dude. Maybe, I don't know. People have weird, like, affinities for different teams. Kansas City Royals. There's no salary cap in baseball, right, Steve? That's like a thing about the MLB, right? If I'm not mistaken. Malicious equals vengeance. Yeah, the one guy I knew that did it said it was 100% worth it. Well, hey, sure. I mean, like, if you only get to wish once, you know, why regret your wish, right? Make it count, bro. Send it. Tell me what you got. So I knew it was happening and did it anyway because it's better for our party than busting the door down because Bean knows the map and where the enemy might be. Ulner, where does Bean fall on the devouring one's enemies part of being a gnoll? How flesh craving of the fallen is Bean as a gnoll? I'm just curious about this because I'm wondering if there's some motivations here. If Bean's natural gnollish hunger is perhaps influencing some of these actions that might lead to a less than favorable scenario for the rest of the party. You know? The dungeon theme is it's a castle, bad guys took over, and the MacGuffin's hidden in it. Okay, so it's not like gnolls or goblins or anything like that. Okay. What? Ashley, please. Ashley, tell me this wasn't your castle and the MacGuffin was a piece of cake. Just tell me. I don't care if it's true or not. I just need to know that's not your entire premise for your castle dungeon in your D&D game. I need to know this to be able to continue having respectable D&D conversations with you. That this wasn't a like. Did you ever play the Prinny game? Ashy, are you a Disgaea enjoyer? I don't know if we've ever talked about Disgaea. I don't think we have. Did you ever play the Prinny games? That might contextualize some of this for me. I love Disgaea. Okay, so you know how in Prinny, you are the Prinnies and you're supposed to fetch the Ultra Dessert for Etna? Are you just treating your players like Prinnies to go fetch Ultra Desserts for you? Is there another, like, a second layer of art of role playing in this, where your role playing is Ashy of Heart being a commander, sending her Prinny like minions to go fetch her Ultra Desserts, or to return her panties? I think that was the plot of one of the games. I don't remember. I don't like. Listen, bro. I might have just gained more respect for you, or I've been disappointed. Grandma's soups taste better, so not very. Okay, good. Okay, so you're not motivated by feasting on your enemies. That's why you're not willing to go to the dungeon. Okay, fair. Fair. Just need to get that out in the open and understand what our priorities are in D&D. Here, Ulner. I'm gonna be so sad the day that Bean heroically sacrifices himself for the party. It's gonna happen, you know. Yeah, the Prinnies are cool. Prinnies are cool. Prinnies are an emblem of that era of JRPGs for me. I love it. Back when I used to buy every NIS America Collector's Edition released, every single one without exception, even if I wasn't going to play the game, I'd still buy it. Back in the day, you know? General's area's theme is Shadowfell is encroaching on the local area because of bad guys' rituals. Okay, fair. Okay. No Ultra Desserts to be had. Maybe when I convince Ashy and Ulner to play a one-shot with me, that's what I'll do. I'll be like, all right, you've created your characters. Your mission is the best dessert exists ever. And a local lord has hidden the dessert away, so only he may have it. Obviously, you're going to kill everyone to get it, right? Like, clearly, right? Name the day? Yeah, all right. I have a strong desire, actually, to play D&D with my VTuber friends, where it's just they're VTubers. So you don't create a character, right? It would just be literally you and Ulner. I don't know who else would play in that game. I need some more like waifus or whatever. The Alliance is strong. I don't know how much they play D&D. Ooh, our COD's turning out. I'm actually okay with this. I'm actually okay with this. Part of what I'm doing with this game on Tuesdays, I'm also using it as an excuse to make assets and stuff. So I'm going to be making a like a proper overlay and some other stuff, so that when I actually do want to plan times and shit like that and get my shit together, I can do so with confidence. The confidence of a DM well prepared. So, not like my usual self, but that's okay. That's okay. Also, Bean got a present from Sahani, because they're polite, handsome young being. Well, there you go. There you go. And a character concept of someone who is cursed for any dice roll that directly affects him equals 0. I call it the curse of natural 0. If I never got a chance to try to experiment with a character like that, would even could do. I mean, there's like luck curses and shit in D&D, right? All the time. That happens. It happens. It's happened in my games. I love giving my players mechanical curses like that. I told a player that she was cursed for the rest of the day, and she was like, "What does the curse do?" And I was like, "I don't know. Your Arcana wasn't high enough." And then they were in combat, and I'm like, "What did you get on your roll?" And she's like, 22. I'm like, "What did you roll on the die?" And she's like, 17. I'm like, "All right, make that a 1." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's your curse." Oh shit. Couldn't roll above a natural 1 on anything. Which they somehow used their advantage, actually, which was kind of hilarious. It's very clever. I was inspired by it after. So, nothing like player creativity to remind you that you are a simple mortal DM. I don't like the spray, actually. I'm gonna use that for our mountains. A little bit of our blue mixed in. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I wanted. Nothing like blue mountains, dude. To just make you feel like you're going on an adventure, bro. I'm really excited to see where my players in both my games right now are going to go. Excited to see what locations they're going to want to explore. I'm going to leave it kind of open, I guess. Right now they're doing a lot of city stuff. And city stuff is fun. It's just, it's not, you know, it's not the D&D I crave right now. Thank you, Random Dude, for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. Welcome. Honored to have you here, my friend. So we'll see. I want to paint some vistas and get them out of the city. I feel like the city's also a bit distracting, you know? The city has, like, markets and shit and whatever. I want to send them out into the wilderness and make them survive for a bit on their own. You know? Be a checks initiative, damage given, taken, saving throws, it involves dice and it affects him regardless. It's towards him, it's a 0. Yeah, that's that's interesting. I kind of like that. It's a cool effect. I'm sure there's a way you could figure out how to abuse that power, you know? Something like that. There's gotta be a way. Clever players will always find a way. Somebody else in the party will find some way to hack the system. I'd have it no other way, honestly. Maybe I'll just tie dice luck to microtransactions in my D&D game. Give the players the EA experience. We're gonna call it D&D Immortal. It's gonna be sick. Alright, so this is gonna be in the new area we haven't named yet. I need to write some lore for it though, don't I? Maybe I'll just do a general thing about sage temples. think that's probably a better idea than having to like commit to the lore of a new area or location or whatever. We'll just do some general temple description, whatever. Give the players or the players, the guild members, a chance to explore the inside of an Astral Sage temple. Be kind of fun, I think. You know? The most unnatural color for a mountain, let's say context is Fey. What would you make mountains to make players say that's 100% some Fey shit going on there? Absolutely some sort of like weird time of day lighting that makes the mountains look purple. 100%. There ain't no natural rock formations that are purple. Because even like pink, you can have, oh, it's just the morning or time of day. Orange, same thing. Green, yeah, blue, you know, atmospheric, whatever. Like there's almost never, if ever, like a purple mountain. That would be some Fey shit. Or you have it be like a color shifting mountain. Like the peaks are purple and it shifts into like a strange orange as it goes down the mountain. Some real Fey shit would be the mountain like changing colors, changing shapes and shit like that. I don't know. I haven't been to the Feywild in a long time. I don't take my players anywhere near a Feywild in a decade. So I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm not the right person to ask, I guess. Cool down? Yeah, we're trying, bro. What's up, Azura? Amethyst? Yeah. Bullshit of Amethyst. That'd be neat. What color do sages make their temples? The ancient sages carved them out of natural stone formations. Kind of want to make the modern sages like kind of a white. Let's see. Like a sandstone type thing. I don't know why the sandstone vibe of like Byzantine architecture doesn't really vibe with me, but the like bright white sandstone thing does. Let's shoot for that. I mean, a lot of it, I guess, is the materials of where it's made. They aren't like painting their buildings, you know? They're just making them out of stone for the most part. But I wonder where you get the white stone to make like these like pure white buildings. I don't think it's marble. Like, what kind of stone is the Taj Mahal made of? Let's see. Building materials used is brick and lime mortar veneered with red sandstone and marbled with inlay work of precious and semi-precious stones. The mosque and the guest house in the Taj Mahal complex are built of red sandstone to contrast the marble. Wait, really? I always think it would be more white than that, you know? But I guess I see it. So I think of like old white buildings. I think of either Italy or India. I guess you make it regional then, so it's not like one definitive stone or color, whatever the temples are made of. All right, let's try white. Let's try white or light gray. And lime washed plaster. Oh, is it? Would the Feywild be a whole planet in Eldara? If I was to incorporate something, well, here's the thing. I do have a world that is Feywildy. In that it's sort of a verdant, overgrown. Like I have two kind of very strange, like overgrown worlds that are sort of like forest worlds, I guess. Oda. One is Thorash, and Thorash I would say is closer to like Pandora from Avatar. It's just crazy primeval, massive creatures, huge crazy formations, whatever. But there's a world that I've sort of been considering that is one of the places where a certain story element is going to be kept that I don't want to spoil for when people play the adventure. And I think that it's going to be like kind of a like more along the lines of like a night elf forest from World of Warcraft. So it's kind of Feywildy. You know, the thing that I don't like about the Feywild is I think my problem with the Feywild is I think that people are entirely less clever than they think they are when they're creating Feywild shit. Like, ooh, a day passes here, but 2 days pass out there. Like, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. It's, you know, it's like there needs to be a way to reference that like sort of fairy tale Alice in Wonderland down the rabbit hole type vibe in a fantasy setting without just referencing the fucking Feywild, you know? I don't know. I don't know how to do it. That's why I haven't thought too much about it. Like, I know I have a world that I know I have some ideas for, but like, don't forget that the realms of Eldar are not to fit sort of like, it's not just to solely to fit different kind of fantasy like tropes and planes into it. It's not gonna be like an elemental plane and like a sky plane or whatever, and like a Feywild and a Nine Hells. The realms of Eldara are going to be very distinct sort of takes on fantasy from one to another. They have to fit within the general systems of Eldara as a setting, but I want them to feel very different. So I think it might be a little misleading because Teleria, the one we're working on right now, is very like in line with traditional fantasy because I want it to be. I want it to be the first thing I create. I want it to be a demonstration of like, yeah, I can do this. Like sure, this is gonna be cool. Like come along for the adventure. Because I think a lot of people wouldn't give it a chance if it was too weird. But a lot of the other settings, like Everflow is one of the worlds. Codename Everflow. It's gonna be very different from a lot of fantasy. I don't know how to describe it, but like lots of things. Since I haven't talked about it on streams because I don't know how to describe it. But like I don't just want to have like, okay, here's the Feywild world, here's the Hell world, here's the whatever world, you know? It's like it's kind of complicated. I don't know how to really address it, but I've been thinking about it. But there will be a there for the Feywild specifically, there will be sort of a Fey-like world built into sort of the realms of Eldara, 100%. I think that's a necessary part of fantasy. It's like the mystique of the natural world and the fairy tale forest is kind of like, I think, a interesting component of fantasy that does not need to be discarded, right? It needs to be reinvented and reskinned, but I don't think that it needs to be discarded. So thank you, Soja. I'm glad you like it. I like doing these little sketches. These little, like, it feels like the rendering and painting phase is like really relaxing. It feels like I'm drawing something into a book, right? These kind of color sketches always feel very in-world, and I love when art that I do for Eldara feels like it's an in-world sketch that you'd find, you know, in a book at the, you know, local Arcanist guild or whatever when you're trying to look up information about something, because it adds context to it. It adds context of how something is seen within the frame of whoever is looking at it in the world. So I think that's important. So I really have fun doing these. I like them. I think they turn out all right. Like the full-on paintings are fun too, but these are really rewarding for me. So I know about the false Hydra. Wait, what is that? It's an experience. Anyone who has to deal with the false Hydra rather fight a Tarask or Tiamat. I've never used a false Hydra. No, I don't use a lot of standard like D&D stuff. Like I don't use like Tarasks and Beholders and stuff like that. Everything I do is from a homebrewing perspective, and so I don't really use a lot of stuff, if anything, that are from like D&D anymore. I don't want to say like that it's not good or whatever. It's just I just don't use it, you know. I do my own shit. Part of my love of D&D is making all my own stuff for it. So it's been a long time. It was like back when I was playing 3.5, I'd use a lot of that stuff, but since I started playing like 4E and then 5E came out, I've really found a lot of rewarding progression in homebrew. More so than Wizards of the Coast content, you know? It's just been a little I don't know, it's been a rewarding experience for me to do that. Have you or anyone chat looked into Daggerheart much yet? Video was talking about it a little bit earlier, and I don't know much about it at all. Like people have talked about it a little bit, but I am very ignorant as to what the system is. all I know, and no one's corrected me, so I think I'm right, is that this has it's either made by or in conjunction with the people from Critical Role as like a cool like project of theirs or whatever. So I don't know much about it past that, but I don't know. The space needs more systems, so if that's what they're doing, power to them. Like, get after it. Hell yeah. I hope it's good, you know? I'm rooting for them. But no, I haven't looked into it or read it or whatever or anything like that yet. You get there eventually. Eventually, yeah. Hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Made by Secret Role, Matt Mercer. Oh, it's made by Matt. Okay, that's cool. Now, did he make it like with? Is it him like partnering with a studio, or did he like design it? Thank you, Hendopolis, for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you, dude. Welcome. How much of his like work is it? He's pretty hands-on, so I imagine that it's like pretty much all his, but I don't know, and I don't want to like credit him for work that like people are doing with him or whatever, if he's just sort of like creatively directing it or whatever. It's very inspiring though, because I think that the biggest problem with the TTRPG space is the blind adherence to Dungeons and Dragons. There's so much great stuff out there that has nothing to do with D&D or Wizards of the Coast. And I wish that people were more like TTRPG fans than D&D fans. Now, I love D&D, and I still play D&D, and I use it for... I think D&D is the best tool for what I'm trying to do. But I just think there's also really interesting shit out there. The problem is that... Here's why I think like Daggerheart and MCDM's or TTRPG will be good. In my opinion, one of the biggest problems and one of the biggest blunders that happened recently in TTRPGs is that you have this sort of... When you have a large company or project or product, you get people who are the anti-fans to it. And when they collect themselves, they sometimes identify themselves as not fans of this. So you get like Diablo, for instance. Diablo came out and it was great. Everyone loved Diablo. Diablo 2, best game ever. Diablo 3 lost a lot of people. And so you had Path of Exile, for those of you who know PoE and GGG. More or less, a lot of their marketing and a lot of their like identity and brand identity was not come play our game, it's awesome. It was, hey, you don't like Diablo? Me either. So that's why I made this game. I'm not accusing PoE. They didn't do that explicitly them, but a lot of the fans did that as well. So fans were like, oh, if you don't like Diablo, you should come try PoE. PoE is awesome. It's like the best game out there. It's like not why is it so good? Well, it's not Diablo. Ah, ha, ha. Everyone laughs about it. It's like, okay, that's great. The problem is when you build an identity based on negativity, I don't think that you build a strong identity for yourself. So you see this in the TTRPG crowd. There's a lot of people who have been very disenfranchised and abandoned or whatever. They feel left out by D&D. D&D has changed and left them. D&D is no longer the game for them. And that's fine. People feel like that with big projects as things grow. But a lot of those people then go to other TTRPGs. And so those TTRPGs, what ends up happening is they form an identity of their fandom of people being like, if you're ready for a real game, you'll come try GURPS or whatever. If you're sick and tired of Wizards of the Coast, you're gonna come try Sword Game. If you don't want to play those big corporate, TTRPGs, you'll come try our cool indie thing. And the problem is that when you get a bunch of negative neckbeards talking about how good their game is or the game they play is, and how bad the big game is, you don't attract people to play your game. You get people being like, I don't want to get anywhere near that. So when the OGL stuff happened and Wizards of the Coast lost a lot of faith with their crew, with their fandom, because of their drama, they're trying to steal everyone's shit from the OGL. There was an opportunity where everyone was like, are there alternatives to D&D? And the indie space of TTRPGs had an amazing opportunity to say, hey guys, if you want to try something different, like you looking for something interesting, here, come try our game. It's really fun. It's cool. You can do this cool stuff. It's like the things you love about other TTRPGs, but it's really, but you didn't see that all that much. You saw it a little bit from some companies and some groups, but most of the people who were going to those who were like talking about their games really fucked it up because they tried to get people because they tried to be kind of arrogant about it. They rather than saying, hey, welcome, you can come play games with us if you don't play D&D anymore, they were like, you know, that like cocky nerd leaning on the counter at the game store at 11:30 in the morning because he doesn't have a real job, like, I can't believe you're finally done with D&D, ready to play a real game. Yeah, all right, I guess you can come play our game with us. They weren't welcoming. They were weird fucking cringy neckbeards. Not all of them, but it happened a lot. And so what we need in the space is we need optimistic, amazing, cool creators to create optimistic, amazing, cool projects that are alternatives to the big ones like D&D and Pathfinder and whatever else that is considered the mainstream. And so if Critical Role can finesse this and not make their identity that they are not something, but that they are a unique game, then that's awesome. The same thing with the MCDM project. They are big enough that they don't need to talk about how not D&D they are, because people are interested in them being D&D or in them being their own thing that's just not D&D. And so that's awesome. So I'm really hoping these companies and these projects do really well. And it's the most exciting thing to me and why I'm rooting for them. I might not give a shit about playing Daggerheart. Probably not. Probably won't ever play it unless I have a group of friends that really want to play it. If I'm running a system, like I play D&D to build Eldara. I don't build Eldara to play D&D. So if Daggerheart became the better tool and the more popular and better way to build a world, then I would build it on Daggerheart. 100%. I have no allegiance to Dungeons and Dragons beyond it's the best tool for the job right now, you know? And so if sure, like MCDM, Daggerheart, come out, storm the world, become the best, coolest new thing, and I'd love to jump on board, you know? I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm looking at them from afar and hoping for the best, you know? You're gonna see a homebrewer streamer on Twitch? Well, that's basically all I do, so you are most welcome here, my friend. You're most welcome here. Might steal this intense picture for my next session. Yeah, for sure, dude. All RPGs are great, but no RPG is perfect and they all have their own problems. Yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of the indie space really dropped. Like, they had such a great opportunity. Wizards of the Coast like tossed them the easiest, softest layup to knock it out of the park and become an amazing, like to build the space for themselves. And mostly every single game just like fell over their own fucking feet onto the dirt by being like cringy and non-welcoming and stuff. Not the companies necessarily did it, but a lot of the fan bases. So, you know, which you can say is the company if you want to. However much you say the identity of the project is dictated by the developers or not. You know, people have different opinions on that. Either way, I hope Daggerheart does well. I'm cheering for them. I'm rooting for them. I think Critical Role is amazing. They do amazing shit. It's not always stuff for me, but I don't need it to be. I'm super happy when Critical Role does some cool ass shit, even if it's not something I'm particularly interested in, because I just want to see them do cool ass shit. Like their show, like their cartoon that they made, I haven't seen and I probably never will because it's just not my jam. But I'm super happy they did it because it's not for everybody. And I think one of the biggest problems is that in modern entertainment, you get homogeneity from fear of failing projects that you've invested money into. And so as budgets are going up, you see homogeneity go up because no one wants to take a risk anymore. So I love the idea that Critical Role's like, yeah, man, we're going to make a fucking cartoon. Is it going to be the most popular thing ever? Is it the best way to invest all our money? Like, maybe. I don't know. I don't care. I want to do it. That's a great reason to do it, you know? So good for them, man. Good for them. I'm happy for them if they're doing cool shit over there. Again, might not be my thing, but I'm super excited that they're doing it regardless. I'm gonna steal the same olive green for the majority of our base here. For our grasslands, and then throw some light on it, make it look cool. Hopefully, I don't know if that's gonna look good or not. I'm not gonna promise anything, alright? Spencer has in the past designed Alice is Missing and Icarus, both of which got Ernie nominations or Enine. I don't know how to pronounce that. I've never heard that. Whatever. Some award nomination and hard to say how much involvement, inspiration Matt has in the creation of Daggerheart, but since he's tried, he's the head game master, there's probably a lot of development back and forth. That's fair. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. I feel it. It's my kind of jam. Good for them. You know, I always try and balance the whole, like, I love Critical Role because they are doing their own thing and whatnot, with the don't forget Critical Role is a corporation that's designed to make money. Right? It's like always a fine balance of like why they do stuff. So it's like, how I always wonder, like, okay, well, how invested is this? A passion project, or is this something they're doing, you know, to increase profits so they can do other cool things? And nothing wrong with that, but like, let's not pretend that that doesn't happen. So I always like to wonder, like, when I hear of a cool project, I'm like, where is the context of this project? Is this a cool passion thing, or like a cool like value for money thing? What are we looking at here? How do we observe this product from Critical Role? You know, they have frog people in Daggerheart, pretty pog. I mean, I guess, hey, if that's what sells you, if that's what earns you, or earns the business for you. No, it sounds cool. I like that. Whose fortress is this? This is a temple for a group of elusive wizards, you could say, called Astral Sages. They use a very unique type of magic that is very specific and important in my homebrew setting. So it's a class that I've created, or I'm in the process of creating, that is sort of a unique take on it, on wizards and spellcasting and stuff, with this homebrew mechanic. And they're culturally somewhere in between monks and wizards. They're kind of somewhere in the middle. So they like having their big, cool monastery like buildings. So we're doing some designs for that today and this week, so that when my players arrive at this place, I have some cool visuals that I can show them and say, hey, here you go. Here's what you see when you arrive at the, you know, the mountain or whatever that they're going to be at. So does Horizon have art that's 8.5 11 portrait orientation? I'm building the outside of my DM screen. I want to have something for players to look at. No, there's likely not going to be any Horizon art ready for in the next couple weeks. It's most likely going to be ready. One of the last things I do, closer to May. So I haven't wanted to nail down what the visual of Horizon is going to be, because I just can't quite get it right. So I'm just putting it off until it's more obvious to me. My bar is not low. I know. No, I think it's cool. I think it's cool, Odo. I'm excited for the project. I hope it does well. I hope they do well. I am a Critical Role project enjoyer. I think they got a pretty slick thing going on, man. I'm a fan of a lot of the stuff they do. Even if I am not caught up on campaign 3, even in the slightest, dude. I'm like 40 episodes behind, bro. Leave me alone, I'm getting there. Slowly. I will get there. It's gonna be a bit. Steal some stuff out of the EBA sketchbook for generic stuff. Yeah, there you go. Place material packet for Daggerheart actually has quite a bit of concept art in it, and I'm curious to see what you think of the concept art if it comes up in the future. Is it available? Is the packet available somewhere? Because here's the thing, I am not a fan, like I am not much of a fan of a lot of Critical Role's art direction. It's just not my thing. It's very like animation focused, like the lineage of cartoons and animation, that kind of like Nickelodeon art style is very strong in Critical Role, as it should be. It's their identity, but it's not my jam whatsoever, like even in the slightest. So I can respect it from afar, but like I'm not sure if I would have like the opinions people want to hear about it. I wouldn't froth the mouth over if it was the same kind of art style they do for, or they use for their like characters and stuff and their campaigns and whatnot. I'm not sure how much I would really have to give good input on it. You know? It's great to have visuals like you do. I think I'll do a picture for my players week after next. Do you design the maps and encounters after drawing the dungeons? Looks from the outside. Not usually. It's one does not come before the other. It kind of depends on how I'm feeling about it, but I'll usually do the maps and stuff. If I do a map, it's not 100% that every map will have like a dungeon visual like the outside, but there's not really a method to the madness, I guess. It's just kind of whatever I feel inspired to do at the time. That will inform the other thing. So Critical's kind of mad. You don't like it? I think it's great. I like Critical Role. I think they do great shit there. I think that especially if you are in the TTRPG space like I am, Critical Role is the health of Critical Role is the health of your channel. In a lot of ways. I have a lot that I owe Critical Role for my own personal like ability to do stuff. Critical Role brings people into D&D. They bring people into the hobby. You know, whether it's for the better or worse is whatever. But I think that even if not everything they do is something that I like, I'm super interested in. I'm always like very supportive and excited for them because they're very good for the hobby and for the space. We're on topic. Has Critical Role helped us TTRPG creators or harmed us? I think it's helped. I think that people like the D&D category on Twitch and the D&D as a discussed hobby is like we can always joke about like the Critical Role players, right? Players that are like way too into their own narrative, because Critical Role is a very theatrical experience. It's a very specific type of D&D, and so it's annoying sometimes when you get players that are like they think that's the only or the proper or the best way to play D&D, and they refuse to like try anything else. Then yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but I don't think you can really say that it's been bad for the hobby. I don't think I would have commissions to sell every month, and I would have patrons interested in homebrew and like people interested in talking about the game and everything that I do if it wasn't for the popularity of something like Critical Role kind of being there and bringing people into the hobby and making D&D cool. So no, I think it's great. I mean, it's absolutely been nothing but a boon. Post access to the materials and stream topics. All right, what do we got? Let's see this. What are we looking at? What is this dagger hard shit? Stream topics. All right. Dag our heart. I wonder if they're gonna have to pay Dag for this. If they're using his likeness in their name. Are they aware of that? Submit email for download. Dude, last time I gave Critical Role my email, they emailed me so much. Hold on. Let me see if I can circumvent this. Daggerheart Art. I'm just gonna Google that. Daggerheart, Darrington Press. Is this it? Join the open beta. I'm guessing this is it. This looks like it's it. Okay, what do we got? What do we got here? Oh, this is cool. This is different from you know, a lot of their usual art. That's cool. I don't know any of these artists, but it's cute, man. Samantha Johanna Key. Who's this? What projects have you done, Miss Key? Let's see who this is. Samantha Johanna Key Art. Fables, Humble World. Okay. I mean, that's cool. They get a bunch of indie artists to do stuff for them. Sure. Like I'm not. I mean, it's cool. I'm not gonna like critique it on stream because it's like they didn't ask for any critique, right? But it's neat. It's cool. Yeah, they're doing cool little indie projects. That's cool. Good for them. Yeah, I don't know. Cool. Like to see some more art, more images. What's this? Is this a Daggerheart thing? This is some anime bullshit? Fucking rabbit girls? Jesus, man. Jesus, dude. That's cool. All right. Cool, man. Not their usual style, more of a mainline fantasy sort of concept style. It would have been cool if they got some like big name artists in there. Obviously, Critical Role loves supporting like indies and stuff like that, and like, you know, lesser known creators and whatnot. And that's cool. That's a, you know, a cool decision that they make. But it would be really cool to like see some like big recognizable names in there, like a Jamie Jones piece or some shit, or, you know. So I don't know, man. That's fun though. Good for them. I think there's a player. I saw the wonderful picture. I need to explore the complex ASAP. I mean, that's the vibe. That's what I'm going for. So hell yeah, we're on the right track. Give me a fake email. The download is from a site. Oh, it is? It's not a... Okay, maybe I'll do that then. Yeah, wait, maybe. Wait, we might be... we might have access to Daggerheart yet, boys. We might be there. One way or another. I mean, it's always cool to give, like... It's an issue of art direction. Like, do you give a bunch of independent artists and you know, lesser known artists your project, or do you like give a bunch of well known artists your project? Is the benefit you get from people being like, oh, this is cool, this is like from some indie artists, does it outweigh having a bigger named artist doing stuff for you that's like, you know, quote unquote better work? Like, I don't know. It's a marketing decision, I guess. And kind of a moral decision for you, I guess, if you want as well. So, that's cool, man. Go for them. So they got a cool team there for the project. All right. I had to do some highlights there. We're good now. Let's go busy. That's our character avatars for the live playtest. That's cool. That's neat. They're doing it live. I wonder who the art director at Critical Role is. I'm very curious. I wonder if that's in public information. Critical Role art director, because they're small enough. They should have one person. Aaron Monroy is the art director at Critical Role. Before joining their merry band, he was an art director at a multicultural advertising agency. He worked on brands such as Honda, Dole, Jack in the Box. Well, that's a design director, not an art director. I guess if he's doing both. Does he have experience in... like big studios and stuff? No, he comes from a marketing background. Okay, well, that's cool. A lot of the graphic stuff that Critical Role does is super on point and looks really cool. So that's dope. Fuck yeah. I got too many windows open. I close all this shit. Why is my YouTube open? All right. Too many tabs, bro. Too many tabs. Okay, I will be right back. I need to get more water. Need more water? I have like little tea bits in the bottom of my cold tea here. That's unpleasant, so I'm gonna replace that. So I will be right back.
Shit, dude. When I was downstairs, Ella reminded me that it's Easter this weekend, bro. I forgot about that. It's a little early this year, don't you think? I'm an Easter enjoyer. All right. Let's finish this shit today. Let's do it. We need revolt. What do I do to earn your ire, Oda? I'm sorry. I'll do better. Maybe. Probably not. But I'll say I'll do better. I'll heavily imply it. Yeah. Yeah. At this point, we're kind of just like painting by numbers, which is kind of nice. The more work I do in the hatching and sketching phase, the less there is to actually do in the painting phase. If you overpaint it, it's just like looks a little nasty. Never overwork a casual sketch like this. That's the rule. It's a rule they don't tell you in art school. All right. I keep forgetting there's like multiple shades of stone and rock on this. Painting my numbers is the best. It is, dude. Come on. It's like those adult coloring books, you know? It's like I don't like to be gatekeepy about the word artist because I have certain like I'll be gatekeepy for myself. All right. I have a very it took a lot for me to refer to myself as an artist. I still don't call myself a real artist. Right? Because of my own standards. But a lot of people like to, you know, people refer themselves as artists or musicians or whatever all the time. And it's like, that's fine. Like, you know, people can say whatever they want to say. You know, someone can tell me they're an artist and I like look at their work and I'm like, oh yeah. Okay, cool. Like, sure, man. You know? And it's not like a judgy thing. It's just like, you know, words are, they mean certain things and different things to different people. But the only time I've ever been truly offended is when somebody in my family told me that they were like, they had now begun their journey as an artist, and I was like, oh really? Wow, cool. So like, what kind of work are you doing? And she showed me adult coloring books that she had like colored pages in, and I was like, okay, I can't be nice about this. I'm sorry. This isn't even some paint by numbers shit. Okay, this is a whole nother, you know. Very few times in my life have I felt the desire to be needlessly mean. I try not to. I think we all should, you know. But that one was hard for me. So, thank you for the work, Azalea. Start somewhere, I guess. Yeah, you start with fucking pencil and a blank sheet of paper. Don't bring me your $32 adult coloring book you bought from Indigo Books. Tell me you're on your artistic journey, weirdo. That's like somebody saying I've begun my journey as a 3D modeler, and you're like, oh, what kind of programs are you using? You're using like, you know, Maya, or like, did you start on 3DS, or like, what are you using? They're like, oh, I build stuff in Minecraft. Look, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not gonna be mean. Let people do whatever they want, man. They're having fun. That's all I care about. But let's be honest. Just for once. Again, they can use whatever words they want to describe themselves. It's fine. My daughter, the artist, has a very cartoon style but slightly demented. Trying to get her to do coloring books for disgruntled wine moms. There you go. That's the best, dude. Those are those like adult coloring books, you know? The problem is they're all like $34 at Chapters or Indigo or Barnes and Noble or wherever you fucking get your books in America. I don't know, man. I don't know that kind of freedom up here. And you're like, why is this so expensive? Well, it's on premium papyrus paper. No, it isn't. Don't lie to me. Yeah, come on. Hey, they work, I guess. My grandmother would buy me coloring books. Cause she's like, well, I know you want to be an artist when you grow up, Evan. I'm like, yeah. She's like, so here's some coloring books. I'm like, that's awesome, Grandma. Thank you so much. I like whispered to my mom, does Grandma know I'm 15? And this is Tank Engine Thomas. Like, what are we doing here, Grandma? Hey, it's thought that counts, right? Money's expensive? No, it isn't. You just do it. You just make it. What are you talking about? Yeah, what do you mean? Like 3 feet picks. You got money. What are you talking about? Love coloring sheets, so I pretty much make my own, and it's so chill. I can just turn my brain off and have fun. Yeah, that's sick. You do some pretty crazy stuff though, Busy. You do some wild shit. You do some crazy ass patterns like the fucking shit I stare at when I'm trying to do like topic of meditation or whatever. Some fucking patterns or whatever that I'm trying to stare at the center of, bro. I know it's not the same, but it just reminds me. Because wine moms are 3 sheets to the wind when they click on the purchase now. That's true, actually. You're right about that. They're like already 1 box of wine down, so they're willing to spend whatever it takes on a fucking coloring book or whatever. Shiny coloring sheets, essentially. Yeah, that's fine. Listen, I never judge people for their own pursuits of the arts. You're being creative. I'm just happy to see people doing stuff. It's good for the soul. I wonder if I would have enjoyed art more or less if I did it as a hobby instead of as a, like, an endeavor, you know? I always wonder about that. My answer has always been no, but there's like so many people these days that I hear saying like, oh, I love art so much that I just didn't want to do it as a job because I didn't want to lose my passion for it. And I kind of don't know if they're full of shit or not. I always thought they were full of shit. I always thought that it was like something that a bad artist says to excuse themselves from not having to work very hard. But like I kind of get it, so I don't know. I feel like I relate some days. I don't like that. I don't like it. They're onto something that I didn't know. I have much to learn yet from the wine moms. There's wisdom in all beings, especially a middle-class woman in her 40s with 3 kids and 2 boxes of wines and a Valium. There you go, bro. I didn't grow up with a wine mom, but my mom had wine mom friends. It was great, dude. Their kids were fucked up. They were not okay. Maybe it works out. I don't know. Wait, I didn't do my stretch today. That's why. That explains it. That explains it. So I think for the temples, I want to do some interior artwork, but like interior stuff is actually so much harder than exterior work. But I feel like it's important. I feel like I need to have at least one like inner sage sanctum to show off what the inside of like a large temple looks like. I feel like it's gonna be important to players like getting the vibe that I'm going for. And really like being sold on it ideally, you know? feel like these stretches are getting more and more painful recently. I might have to go to like physio or something. Get him to like, I don't know, put electric needles in my arms or some shit. Some like physio shit they do. I did that, like, I've never had such a massive relief from a physical problem as when I went to physio and they did like that electrical needle acupuncture shit for me. It completely fixed one of my arms, just entirely. It was crazy. There's a problem I was having in my upper shoulder, actually. And like I couldn't stretch it and it hurt and I like couldn't golf because it just was so painful. And then he did it in my one arm and I walked out of the office feeling instantly better, but it pissed me off because I had more range of motion in that arm that I didn't have my other one. And I was like, fuck, I gotta go back. I didn't know the other arm was a problem too. I don't want to get that done in my forearms. Maybe it would help actually. These stretches are good. It's just I'm doing more and more, you know? Maybe it's not a bad thing. Gotta go up the hand, finger by finger, then go back down the hand, finger by finger. Foam roller? I do have a foam roller. I don't know what to use it for though. I'm supposed to use it for my back. But I don't really have back problems, so I haven't really ever used it. More of an Ella thing, I guess. She uses it occasionally. I don't know how I use it for my arm, I guess, or my forearm. Go for some voodoo needles. I don't know what they do, man, but you put that shit in your muscle and pump some fucking magnemite energy in there and shit feels good. Physical health is so important for artists. And every artist gets that lesson at some point in time in their life. And you always hope that it's not a painful lesson, but it usually is. It's usually a rather uncomfortable lesson that gets an artist to finally realize that they need to take care of their like physical health while they're doing their work or whatever. Ooh, hides in the water. The literal best part. Stones will probably use the same shade of gray here. Whoops. Not that dark. That dark. That's the one we wanted. Alright, cool. The temple's so far away, though, from my players currently. I don't know if I'll ever get them to see this area of the world, unless I start a new game. I feel like I can't take one of my parties too far away from the Shattered Sea right now. I feel like their quests and their side stories and stuff are just super invested and entangled with the Shattered Sea. But I kind of want to drop them into a completely new, different region. So I'm kind of doing the Shattered Sea thing with Fishy. And I'm writing the Shattered Sea thing with the Horizon and whatnot. It's just like a lot of Shattered Sea. Which isn't a bad thing, I guess. It's like nice to get the area more fleshed out. But from a DMing perspective, it's been a little exhausting. Maybe I'll just like have them fall through a portal or some shit. That's always fun. Always fun to throw them through a portal. But I wouldn't have given them a chance to like buy materials and stuff. Maybe I should. Maybe that's fine though. Make sure they all have their stuff, their equipment that they want to keep with them, or like Ella has her like pets that she bought in Grand Crest, and then they can fall through a portal or whatever. That's probably fine. I don't want to throw Fishy through a portal. I think I want to keep her in the Shattered Sea. We kind of identified that's where her story is going to be. Maybe I should try and edit down the like session 0.5 and the game into like a YouTube thingy, like a podcast thingy. I wonder if they do well. People would be interested, you know? I suppose you like literally never know until you try. Okay. Most of this is in shadow, which makes it easier. Some of it I didn't really indicate that all that well, so I'm gonna do more heavy lifting when it comes to painting right now, which is not ideal, but I deserve it. I should have done more in the sketch phase if I wanted to avoid it. Hey, that's the way it is, man. All right. Ooh, we're getting there. This is looking good, actually. I'm really pleased with this one. I'll throw in some other little flowers and colors and things like that. At the very least, I want to finish this today. Been our month-long project to figure out our night temple, and we didn't even get it done. We just got another damn sage temple finished. God damn it. The sages have enough temples. But what's been interesting is people have been really responding to the knights more so than the sages. It's very interesting. Like my theory of like creating identity for a group is like has been kind of proven, but also the problems that I've anticipated with it are also have kind of proven themselves. There's a lot of like requests to change things about the knights, but it's like, nah, man, the reason you find the knights cool, the reason I find the knights cool is because they have such an interesting, like, specific identity. Once you try and change all that stuff, well, you're kind of messing around then, I guess. You're screwing with powers in the world that ought not be. Let's try some little dots of color like flowers and stuff. Kind of like that vibe, you know? Through the banks or whatever. Do we do that in any of the other ones? I don't think so, right? No, not really. I want to put one of the other worlds in the background, you know? Here. Maybe we'll try that. See if we can mess around with some stuff in the sky. That's good. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I like the style of sketch or whatever. All right, if we were going to do that, how would we do that? I wonder, without trying to take too much... Use a soft brush for it. So I wouldn't want to make it like... Like, it can't be too soft. Almost has to be a little fuzzy, a little distorted. Too too sharp, it kind of doesn't fit unless we were to do it with line work, but I don't want to. No, yeah, it has to be a sharper or a sharper line. It's frustrating. Maybe make it lighter overall, I wonder. No, it doesn't really read then. All right, screw it. Can't like paint things into a line work primary piece. We are gonna put a couple of stars in the sky though, as if it's just transitioning into that kind of like in between, right after the twilight hour has sort of formed a lot of colors in the sky, where it's just kind of mergings of blue. I think that's a really interesting sky for me. It's very fantasy-y, you know? Almost implies a little moonlight or something. Of course, most astral observatories, whatever, are going to be rendered at night because, I mean, come on, man. It's space. Highlights. The like reverse hatching highlight shit that I started doing on the characters. It's kind of bled into this style. And kind of a bit of a hack or a secret that I've enjoyed. All right, I think it's done. This is number 9, I believe. Number 9. We're gonna blow it up and make it a proper print, but for now we gotta keep it as a card, right? That's the whole point of these. Oops. I don't know what my affinity is with numbering things, but god damn it. Early night temple concept. I mean, they're all concepts, but still. I think that our night temple is going to be a little more dark and broody. The only piece that I have that actually showcases the kind of vibe was this quick 5-minute thing I did like a year and a half ago that just sort of like illustrated the kind of stormy, cloudy, dark vibe that I wanted from the night temple. It's like, I mean, Fishy made like an edgy boy joke, but it's kind of fair. But I don't know, whatever this piece is going to be, the next one, I think that'll be the night temple officially if we can get a good design out of that. You do vlog everything, Bizzo. Absolutely, I agree. You know, there's something special about having numbered stuff. Like when I look back and I'm doing cards right now for like Patreon stuff, and I'm on the card like, I don't know, like 500 and something or whatever. It's interesting to look back and see, like on Ella's desk right above my shoulder right there, that's card number 1 right there. And it's really shitty. It's really bad. And all the early cards are bad. I mean, a lot of them are. The recent cards are bad too. But the early cards are really like, I don't know. It's very interesting to see that progression in not just like ability, but style as well, which I think is important to notice as an artist. Is just like what the choices that you've made and the things that you choose to do and the decisions you make. It's very, very informing, I guess. You know, as to where you've come from and where you go as an artist. But let me do a couple more highlights. I forgore. Forgive my forgoration. I'm gonna do some of the rocks here. A little sheen. In the shadows mostly, but still. Absolutely, yeah, for real. There's only one tree here, and it's all just dead and sad. I was gonna do trees, I forgot. And then we got too deep into it, and there wasn't a tree to be seen anywhere, which is a little bit sad. Alright. I need to not look at this for 5 minutes, and then I can look back at it and figure out what I did wrong. That's, like, important. Ah, wait, no. I looked at it. I looked at it as the other monitor. Shit. So I don't post work the day that I finish anything, because I go back and I realize there's problems with things, you know, the next day or 2 days or whatever. Scroll Reddit. Let's see what's new in D&D Reddit. Reddit, D&D. This is what I always do whenever I need like 5 or 10 minutes to not look at a piece of artwork. What do? I go to D&D Reddit. I see what people are mad about. What are people mad about today on D&D Reddit? Would misspelling in a warlock contract matter? Absolutely. What do you mean? These are devil contracts. Absolutely. So I had a not so serious idea for a warlock whose patron, most likely a devil since they're basically supernatural lawyers, made a mistake when writing a contract, and the warlock will lose his soul when dying, such breaking the contract. The patron recently realized this and tried to convince the character to modify or void the contract to avoid embarrassment. Will this work, or are the contracts more of intent, not actual wording matters? No, I think for devils the wording does matter. What are you talking about? These are lawyers, man. These are Nine Hells lawyers. DMs of Reddit, what was your BBEG that killed you in the stupidest way? It was killed in the stupidest way. Hot take. Am I the only person that hates the term BBEG? Like, I never use it myself, and whenever I read it when somebody's talking about their BBEG, I always like shudder a little bit inside. It's just like such a like a Simon Says term. You know? I don't know, maybe it's a useful term. I hate it. Someone explain the issue with what my character would do. Wait, can someone explain the issue with it's what my character would do issue? Wait, what? Not being that ingrained in the D&D community, I often see or hear people hating the above phrase. However, I'm struggling to work out why. For example, of your character has the trait of being cowardly as a flaw. For them to run from a dire situation, does that fit in with your character? So why is the whole "it's what my character would do" phrase ingrained in a negative association? Oh my god. Yeah, I guess that guy's pretty new to the community, isn't he? It's not by itself a problem. Role-playing game, you're supposed to do that. The problem is when people make shitty characters and use "it's what my character would do" to deflect blame. It was their decision, just role-playing correctly. Yeah, people defending like why they don't like go on an adventure or are an asshole or whatever because it's what my character would do. People are even mad today. What the fuck? Where's all the drama? Where are people mad? Where I need some. Wait, my players don't expect to die and that's okay. No, what are we mad about on Reddit? You're paying what's the scariest monster from previous edition? In the event my character dies, I've been brainstorming some character ideas centered around funny names, but taken seriously. I can't take that seriously. I'm sorry. When somebody has a dumb name in their for their character, I realize we're not supposed to play D&D together. One of my party members in my Curse of Strahd campaign died recently, and now we don't know what to do. We're a group of law students who started our campaign during our first semester and have continued playing virtually every week now. Something happened with it yesterday. Obviously, we're all in shock and we canceled our session this weekend just to instead get drinks and be together. But we're at a loss for what to do with her character. We're at the brink of war with an army of druids, and she was the leader of an army of werewolves. Oh my god! Go outside, touch grass. All right, no, where are people? I need the drama. I need people being mad at stuff on Reddit. This is what I crave when I need to look away from a piece of art for a while. I need to know why people on Reddit are mad about stuff. Tomb of Mild Discomfort. I like that. Why are displacer beasts evil and why do we love them? Answer is both. It's a damn cat. Yeah, it's just a fucking cat, right? Like, I've never owned a cat, but I do subscribe to the idea that all cats are assholes. OC Art, to answer that guy's question from yesterday, yes, great lengths for props. This is sick, dude. I love this. I love prop D&D. You give your players the potion vial with, like, the Kool-Aid in it. You get the treasure, the coins, and the rings, and you get the pipe. Hasted potion is just orange Kool-Aid. Potion of something. This is cool, man. It's like cringy and lame in the exact way that I want nerd stuff to be cringy and lame. I love this. There's a company that makes like these kind of coins. I don't know if these ones are the right ones, but it's called Campaign Coins. It's great. I have some. We ordered some at the game store back in the day. I don't know if they are still around. Campaign Coins. They're around. Oh shit. They exist. We're moving. Our website orders are closed until May 2024. They're moving. That means they're upgrading, hopefully. But yeah, Campaign Coins, these are cool. They're just like dumb little fucking coins that you buy and you use as like in-game currency for your players or whatever. I love these. I have a whole bunch of them that I gave my players for like they could use them to cash them in for like cool things to happen in the game. Like they were like faded coins or whatever. But they just stole them. And then I had a player who's just like, hey, can I use my like one of my fate coins? And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, can I use my fate coin? I'm like, yeah, sure, man. I hold my hand. He's like, oh, I don't have it with me. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, it's at home. I'm like, well, no, you have to give me back the coin. He's like, oh, I wanted to keep it. I'm like, no, but it's my coin. You give my fucking coin. You don't buy money, Evan. You trade money. You buy money when the money isn't real. You absolutely buy LARP money. Yeah. You might trade yen for USD for Bitcoin or whatever, but when you're buying LARP money, you are absolutely buying it. It's like buying gold in World of Warcraft. OC Com porcelain doll commission for a D&D campaign. That's cute. It's got like the blue and the white. I don't know what type of like patterning you get for like teapots and shit like this. It's the white with blue ink on it, but it's cute. That's good. That's a good commission, man. That's nice. Some weird stuff happening there, but you know, we're not here to critique. We're here to enjoy. What do you mean D&D's not real? Ooh. Nobody tell him. Nobody tell him. Is he making fancy coins too? Just need to get a press? Do it, man. That'd be fucking sick. Are you kidding? And then I can commission you to make the Realms of Eldara currency coins for the Kickstarter. Hell yeah. Combining milestone and EXP to make prep easier and create emergent gameplay story. Is there a D&D drama subreddit? I don't know if I want to go there, if it does exist. Wow, this is so too long, didn't read. OC Art drew my elven vampire bard for a campaign I'm in. Oh, that's nice, man. That's nice. See, like, what the okay, we're not here to critique, we're here to enjoy. Pretty, I like it. I finally made a portrait of my character. Her name is Zaya. She has a sad background. I'm gonna tell you guys below. I'll give you, all right, entertain me. My friend created an RPG where tieflings and similar races are hated by most people and asked me to make a tiefling character unlike the others. This is why I don't call my Geminos tieflings. Because people carry this fucking baggage with tieflings. The life of this race is based on many human transformation potions, and the majority of them live on the prowl in cities such as alleys or more rural areas. Zaya was very loved by her parents, but the hatred of her neighbors took over in her mind, influenced them to abandon her in a random town near a fountain. As a result, she was forced to survive discreetly as she grew up and realized that she had a lot of talent in assembling gadgets. And despite people hating her for a race, she was good enough to bring about good changes in for her city to help with her equipment. That's not sad. Her master George. Okay. On one tragic day, people found them both getting drunk in an alley, and that was how Zeleucus came to an end of his life, burnt. Zaya managed to escape, but with not only psychological but also physical consequences. So much so that that in my drawing represent the burns that healed on her body. That's cute. Sad background, kinky looking. Yeah, okay. Let's get an update. That guy gets updated. How should I punish my player for giving his blood to a devil? Ooh. What are rookie DM mistakes? Rookie DM talking and asking what rookie DM mistakes. Give me hell. Not inviting your friends to start adventuring, getting yourself stuck in an endless loop of watching how to DM videos and collecting tips for the first game can be a perfect masterpiece. It's never gonna be perfect, and the ceiling on improving as a DM is quite low without repetition of running games. Wait, this is actually a good take. Wait, actual good take? Wait, what the fuck? I just got a notification from Twitch saying my subs would cost more. What the fuck? I just glanced up and saw on my Twitch dashboard there's a notice saying that subs are in Canada are going up in price. All right, whatever. Whatever, Twitch, fine. OC, my girlfriend made some snacks for our session the other day. Oh, what do we got here? We got some little chocolate mushroom thingies. We got some crab cakes. We got some mandolins. We got some nuts. We got some licorice. I don't know. That's pretty cool. See, I like this stuff, man. People think it's lame, but I think this is fun, dude. You know, I always think this is fun. I think this is it's a fun little, you know, immersive way of jumping in on your D&D game. I fucked up. I accidentally closed the wrong window. God damn it. I'm good. I'm good. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. OC, look at this cute thing I'm making. Whip. Ooh, a map. DM forced me into a path they wanted through an overpowered roll. Oh my god, finally. We had... Oh, finally. Dude, we had to scroll for 5 minutes before we found... Okay, alright. Okay, this is what we need for... Wait, for art cooldown. Okay. Okay. Let's make a fantasy feast when we play D&D IRL. Yeah, you do. Chef Oda over here. All right. Hello. So, I play in a group of 9 people. Long story short, we drank love potions and randomly fell in love with each other's with other players and NPCs. Yeah, we did that too when we were in high school. During this fiasco, one of the DM's NPCs was being an asshole to me. That NPC went off with some other player, got the cure, came back. Then the NPC that was an asshole tried to convince me to drink it. I kept refusing. Then she rolled a die to convince me for this OP NPC that was made. The DM admitted to making it OP on purpose because the majority of her players are new. Didn't want this NPC to be murder hoboed. Rolling a 23. By the way, we are level 4. It felt very railroady to me, purposely using a powerful character to roll to convince me of something when I wouldn't listen to the character that was an asshole to me. Eventually, I told the character to leave it outside and I'll get what I'm ready to. But even the DM was like, I rolled well, you have to listen to me, which just gets really annoyed me. Could have easily given to another player or something else. Would you say, what would you do or say in this scenario? TLDR, the DM used a powerful NPC that was an asshole to my character to roll a persuasion check against my character to force me to drink something the character didn't want to. Have I been doing persuasion this wrong the entire time? Can I do that? Can I force my players to do stuff by being like, bro, I rolled a 23% persuasion. Like, sorry, man. Yep. Like I got my squishy D20 here. I got my squishy D20. It's like, all right, where's Dashto? Where is he? All right. I rolled a 19 plus my charisma modifier 4 plus my proficiency bonus. So I get like a 26. All right. 26. You now have to buy me snackies tonight. Sorry, Dashto. Yep, sorry, man. That'll be 1,500 bits. Thank you. Thank you for the 1,500 bits preemptively. Dashto, I appreciate that. I rolled high enough on my persuasion. Like, Have I been doing persuasion wrong the entire time? I didn't know that you could just decide that your persuasion was high enough and you just decide that a player now has to listen to you. This is beautiful, man. This is the kind of shit that it's like you don't you know what? D&D Reddit for me, for posts like this, the reason why I love D&D Reddit, it's like watching Cops. It's like you might not live anywhere near like the trailer park druggies, and you know that they exist in theory, but you never see it demonstrated until you see a high-speed chase with a fucking Dodge Charger on the freeway, and you're like, wow, those kind of people do exist. Crazy. You know, this is, to me, is like, this is what I come to Reddit for, is to remind me that these kind of humans exist, that this kind of DM is somewhere out there. Like, just think about it. Visualize this person, this human, this DM is alive and exists right now. And this is probably North America. So it's probably anywhere from like 11 to like what, 2 in the afternoon for them. They're probably at work. Maybe they're flipping fucking Krabby Patties or like signing insurance documents or whatever they do, but they are existing in the world. This human amongst satellite imagery can be traced down to having a life. This person had parents. They exist. It's a real person. That's amazing to me. Holy shit, man. I'm going to start doing this with my players. I'm going to start telling them that I rolled a high enough persuasion and that they have to listen to me now. And that is absolutely how I'm gonna run my game. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how much shit I'm gonna get done tonight in my D&D game? God damn. I think it works that way. Tell it to the DM. First, the last brain cell died listening to this person's D&D story. That's pretty good. To be fair, I do think that the Redditor, the writer here, was a little bit too obsessed with the fact that the NPC was an asshole. So it's like, if the NPC was great and not an asshole, then they would have rolled the persuasion, forced you into doing something you didn't want to, but it's fine because they're not an asshole. You know? That's amazing. What would you like to give this, Bob? Because one time as a DM, I turned a player who touched the thing with Mage Hand to stone. Oh, that's fine. Did you roll high enough persuasion to get them to turn to stone? The NPC was an asshole, had tried to convince me to drink it. I kept refusing. She rolled a die to convince me of this OP NPC that was made. There is no roll for convincing a PC. A PC can persuade an NPC, roll to succeed if needed. An NPC can persuade a PC only if the player allows it, whether due to making sense or whatever is most fun for the table. There is a saving roll if something is used in the PC, however, i.e. charm spells. No roll will convince a PC if the player says my PC will not be convinced by any natural means. Like, you know what's amazing is that this paragraph has to exist. That this person is necessary. You know? Like, you know when you have like something bad happens, right? Like imagine there's like a conflict or whatever, like a war or a conflict or something like that. And there's like there's the people on Twitter that they just get up, they're like, guys, I just really feel like I need to get this off my chest. I just want to tell everyone that I think this thing is bad. Yeah, this thing that everyone universally agrees is bad, I think it's bad. And you have all these people like clapping for them, be like, wow, so brave. You know, the problem is that person is necessary in this context. That this person has to like, okay, goddamn. All right, we're gonna have to explain this, man. We're gonna have to fucking explain this. You can't do that. That's amazing. This is what I wanted out of this. This is exactly what I wanted out of this shit. Holy shit. The skills and when the DM should use them against a player: acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, persuasion should never be used to influence a player. So actually, not like, now that I recall, we used to actually do this as a meme. You know, like you're like we used to do this as a meme. Oh, I'm unlocking a memory. So my friend Ryan was DMing for us. And Ryan, when we were like, So my friends Yavuz, John, and I were walking by the brothel. And I made some kind of a joke like, oh, is this the nice brothel or the, like, you know, kind of whatever brothel? He said, this is the, like, not the, like, expensive brothel. This is the, like, you know, 73-year-old woman in a nightie hanging outside smoking brothel. And I was like, ooh, tempting, but I think we'll take a pass this one and keep going. And I remember Ryan was just like, she calls out to you and asks you if you want, you know, something like a night exploring the history or some shit like that, like some bad pun or whatever. And I was like, respectfully, I'll decline her offer. And I just remember he just looks at me and just takes his die, drops it, and goes, 17 persuasion. And I was like, damn, shit. She makes a good point, guys. Like, maybe we should. We were like, yeah, okay, all right, we're going in. So we actually used to do that. I forgot about this, that we used to do that as a joke. Whenever the players, we would have like something completely out of, you know, out of the purview of what we'd actually be doing in the game. And DM would just be like, for the NPC, just like, 16 persuasion? And like, yeah, I'll sell my soul to the devil. Sure. You know, as if that was like, oh my God. Okay. That's hilarious. I love that this post has to exist. That's fucking incredible. I'm so pleased with this. Oh God. So basically I need to search for only posts marked table disputes, right? Game tales, 5th ed, DMing. I'm looking for the pink tag, right? Old school D&D. Art. Ooh. Let the airbrush look. Oh, this is sick. Got any actually difficult complex puzzles / ciphers? I can't make puzzles for my players. I'm too smart. Table disputes. Okay, table disputes. Damn it, where are they? I need this to wait, is that a... Okay. I thought those were like meatball. Okay. I saw something completely different here. Oh, these are sick. Animated tokens. Table disputes. Table disputes. Basically, give them advantage against turning into stone, but all also might circumvented my puzzle I should have let happen. It happens, you know? I had a comment above the Eidenkind-ku one. You were an asshole, you should have rolled 100. Yeah, true. Just letting off steam. All right, we'll see if this one's good. Last one, then we'll get back to we'll evaluate and figure out if the art's finished, and if it is, we'll post it. As a note, I am an older adult, so I already know the common sense things like determine if the fun you are having is worth trying or not, just to get it out of the way. Okay. All right. So they're an older adult, and they have a very high opinion of themselves for that. So this is the kind of person that is like the average Fox News watcher, you know, in their late 60s to early 80s, that thinks that they have it all figured out, and anyone younger than them clearly has no idea what's going on. Got it. Okay. I'm not going to leave the game, partially because my friendship with the DM is more important than the mild annoyances I'm running into. And in the end, I really do like my character. That's nice. We are playing in a Drakenheim campaign. Is that a word that anybody recognizes, or is this word Drakenheim a word that I'm supposed to know? I made a Warforged that used to be... Bro. You can't start the post with, as a note, I'm an older adult, so I already know the common sense things, and then misspell no, and I let that one go. Right? And then again, miss a letter unused. Like, you can't do this, man. I let this one go. But like, if you're my brother, if you're gonna be missing letters, you can't start off by setting the scene by just how wizened you are. Okay. Used to be Paladin of the Flamekeepers, who was struck down and dying. The Amethyst Academy bringing him back as an experiment, a living soul in a suit of armor. Yes, I almost... Please. You're killing me, man. I almost called him Alphonse, but the armor came with something else already inside it, ergo Warlock. Wait. If he was going to call him Alphonse in a suit of armor, that means that this is not your average 73-year-old Fox News enjoyer. That means that their idea of being an older adult, if they know Full Metal Alchemist, what is the age range for someone who knows Full Metal Alchemist that would consider themselves an older adult? Probably maybe 38, 40, you think 40? We're in the same ballpark. Yeah, 38, 40. So this is a person that is not even an older adult, but thinks that they have achieved what is necessary experientially to... Okay. Alphonse is a reference. The suit of armor and Alphonse is a reference to an anime called Full Metal Alchemist. But the armor came with something else inside, ergo Warlock. At any rate, my first irritation was I wanted to do this whole roleplay thing of not revealing my character, of not revealing who my character was, because his nephew was also in the party, and he feels like he has been turned into a metal monster by the second session. I think the DM simply had an NPC use my character's real name, so it's like, oh great, that was a nice, long, dark secret to RP. The other main irritation is that the group I am almost... Wait, I am... Wait, the group... The other irritation that the group I am is almost constant... Oh, in. Oh my god. In almost constantly jokes. This is... I'm gonna get through this, man. Supposed to be an eldritch horror setting that just feels like Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein games instead. Atari, am I actually not that bad of a writer? Because I have a pretty low... a pretty low, you know, opinion of myself as a writer and my ability to edit things. But being on Reddit, I'm starting to wonder if I'm actually above our average. You know? The horror is always in shocking and gross visuals that more than anything psychological truly feeling like horror, and someone tends to make a joke with every horror encounter, which is just makes it not really hit. So he's just mad. Okay, so he's mad because the DM stole his cool thing so far. And worst thing that has brought me almost to quitting is that there's some time that this campaign seems like a... Wait, does their N key not work? K-N-O-W. C-A-M-P-A-I-G... U-S-E-D. Okay, never mind. It was... Okay, I'm missing other letters, not just the ends. Okay. Worst thing that brought me to almost quitting is there is sometimes that this campaign seems like a power fantasy for the DM, where it really feels like the DM versus the players, just to show off how awesome the NPCs and monsters are in the setting, more than telling us unique and compelling stories. And in the vein of unique and compelling... So their O key doesn't work either. The DM revealed to us that a lot of the monsters in the city might be former citizens, but apparently the adventure didn't have anything to do if the group takes a road of trying to heal the citizens instead of killing them. So we kind of got railroaded with these hyena monsters are actually dogs of the city, not actual people. Instead, to kind of get us to deal with the problem more the way the written material wanted us to. The DM admitted this was even worse because it felt like you all won't follow the script. Bastards. I'm being disgruntled with these complaints. I might be, but I'm really wanting to hear what others think of the situation. Again, I vow the players and the DM... What? And I'm not jumping ship. Oh, love. Jesus Christ. Just need somewhere to get this all out. Smiley face. That's nice. No, your complaints are justified. I had a DM like that once, and the game he was running was fun but irritating. It was a superhero campaign. Oh. Well, their opinion is automatically void. Just sounds like the DM... This isn't the DM for you. You really don't want to leave, but hopefully you enjoy it more. Make chat with other players and tell them your worries and ask if they feel the same. Dude, N and S keys maybe, and L. Like, hold on. Maybe I'm being too judgmental. Does Reddit show you your typos? It does. So there's no excuse for this. If you're writing a comment on Reddit, you can easily click it. Toes? No, typo. You could easily fix it. Because I was gonna give him like at least a pass if like you just like did gibberish on Reddit and it didn't show you your titles or whatever. But it absolutely does. Okay. What do you do when someone posts something on Reddit saying, am I the crazy one or is the DM the crazy one? And the honest opinion is both of y'all deserve each other. Like, is that mean? Is this mean? I that feels a little mean. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. But I my first gut instinct is absolutely these two deserve each other. Please do not find a different game. Please stay with this DM forever. You both deserve each other. No, okay, all right. Okay, that's enough Reddit from you today. Is this piece good? Now that I've not looked at it for 10 minutes and the 3 tablespoons are really melt. Okay. You think you're funny, Blaze? You think you're fucking funny? I am not gonna read out missing letters in chat for the rest of the week. Stop, okay? Requests are gonna be awfully short if that's the case tomorrow, okay? God damn it. Okay, oh, should we do character requests or should we do item requests tomorrow? Let's do items. I feel like it. I think this is good. I think I'm good. Let me try and just do one quick thingy with a little bit of a dodge, and a little bit of a multiplicity. Do that, and then a quick dodge. I think we're good. I think we're Gucci after that. All right, cool. We got done. We finished it. We did it. Hey. Oh, weird. We're off to the woods the whole Easter weekend. Dude, have fun. That's awesome. Yeah, Easter. I was gonna do some baking this week, but I don't know if I'll get a chance to. Easter's like a big holiday for my family growing up. So it's not a big holiday for my family anymore because we just don't family. But growing up, Easter's always a big family because I'm Ukrainian. And Easter's a big deal in Slavic households. So I should have done some bread baking and some prohe making and shit like that. So I don't know. Off sacrifice lambs, which could celebrate real Easter. Yeah, for real, bro. You do 1 week characters, then the next week could be items for the request. That's yeah, it's a good idea, Nick. I think we'll do item requests tomorrow because there are still people that want to get item requests. I do want to hit request number 500 for items. That's important to me, so I think we'll do that tomorrow. And then I don't have to do any prep today. We can just I have a bunch of work to do. I have to go do some shit today. So I was gonna end stream around 1, so we're a couple minutes late, but that's fine. I have some work to do, and then I got D&D tonight, and I gotta take my party somewhere. Hopefully not kill them all off. So, all right, we finished the art. We accomplished the thing today. We did the thing that I wanted to do. It's fucking sick. Cool, man. Then I need to do a couple things over the weekend. I'm gonna be spending a lot of the weekend doing some writing to try and get the written portion of the adventure at least mostly finished. Finishing up it's ready for the beginning of April at the very least, and then hopefully the adventure is finished and ready to release on the 4-year anniversary, which is going to be early May, which is be a huge cool thing to do my 4-year anniversary about, which would be cool. I always do a dumb keynote that nobody cares about, but I think is always very fun and funny. So there's that about, it's gonna happen in about a month. So yeah, man, I think that's it for today. What we do tomorrow? Yeah, we did it, Bobicus. We did it. Later, dude, wanted to say thank you for lurking last night. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't chill, man. I was having I was dealing with a bit of a crisis of a sick puppy, so I had you on my phone while I was like, chilling with her. So, but it was awesome. It was awesome to see you back in the forge, bro. I makes me very happy to see that. So, all right, guys, I will see you all tomorrow for requests. Now, I will not be here next Friday, I should say, because next Friday I will be driving to a cursed place called Edmonton. Edmonton. It's a city that is a disgusting filth heap in central Alberta that unfortunately I have to go to because Ella has a market there, and I have to go with her because it's in a different city. So I'll be doing that next weekend, which is gonna suck, but it's okay. It's gonna be fun because Ella gets to do markets and she's amazing. So no stream next Friday probably. It's likely gonna happen. I might stream and then we could leave after, but I don't know if we left at like 2 and we don't get there till like 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we could do that. I might stream next. Beast of War now. I am no. I listen. I am excited for to see Ella at markets. Okay, Ella at her markets is a radiant, amazing human, and I love seeing her in her element. And I like seeing people praising her stuff and loving her stuff. The problem is it isn't in fact Edmonton, and that's hard to get past. So both her and I are like, it's gonna be a good weekend, but like we also have to go to Edmonton, so we're trying to emotionally prepare ourselves to drive north in Alberta, which there's not much there. So we'll be okay. We'll be okay. You know, we'll make it through. The market's gonna be awesome. It's at the Edmonton whatever aviation museum, and I love aviation, so that's gonna be cool. That's a cool thing, part of that. So it's gonna be fun. You know, we just had to go to Edmonton, so we're she's in Firefront across the river. She's amazing. Ella's I love going to markets with her because I love seeing people appreciate her. It's like my favorite thing, you know. So I have to like balance my love of seeing her shining with then our hatred of fucking Edmonton. Oh god. All right, cool. Well, I will see you guys later. I'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, my friends. Farewell.